game of the series. Phoenix has won the last two to tie this series at 2. Former NBA player Darius Miles says the Suns have Devin Booker to thank for still being in the series.
He's doing it on every aspect of the game, and he's leading this team to it. Like, to have somebody like KD to be like, wow, it's crazy to watch how him go, you know he's putting in work.
That is Darius Miles earlier on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max here on ESPN Radio. The other NBA playoff game tonight, Philadelphia at Boston in that series, is tied at 2. Pair of Game 4s in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight on ESPN and the ESPN app beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern with Carolina at New Jersey. And then it's Colorado at Seattle, 9:30 Eastern. Avalanche with a 2-1 series lead. Hall of Fame basketball coach Denny Crum led Louisville to 2 national titles, died on Tuesday. Former player and coach at UCLA as well, was 86 years old.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
It is the Sportsocracy, and welcome into the program here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app. Take us with you everywhere you go. Watch us as well on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat each and every day. Today, well, it's going to be fun because it's a Power Rankings Tuesday.
We're going to argue a lot today.
Yes.
Specifically about a team from California with a quarterback that I trust just about as much as I trust knowing things about the Clintons.
We are going to have some good, healthy debate today on the program. The post-NFL draft power rankings.
Well, the good thing is that we're not going to argue about much early. Because as we do, we always go from worstest to bestest. And that's what we're going to do here. I didn't think about 32 for even a second. Did you?
No.
I literally did not think about it for 1 second.
No. It's the Houston Texans.
And you got it wrong.
What?
The Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
It's okay. They own both of their picks.
I'll agree to disagree. I mean,
31A, 31B.
Exactly.
I'm fine with it.
Exactly.
There's just one of them that's going to be playing me at quarterback for the first 8 weeks of the season. And that was the tiebreaker.
Oh, come on. You're not down with who is going to start first couple of games of the season?
Colt McCoy.
Okay.
And
well,
trust
he's
me,
way better than you are.
And trust me, Chris, there's been a lot of talk of don't be shocked if they find a way to get Clayton Tune on the field.
There you go.
Please let him be the first rookie to start. I almost want to go put a hundo on that in Vegas. I think I could retire on what that would pay.
I was going to say, if they were putting Chris Streveler out there, then I would agree.
Don't you speak ill of former New York Jet, loved by all of New Jersey, Chris Streveler. Grey Cup MVP.
If he were the starter, then I would agree with your comparison of you.
I think I would like Chris Streveler better than Colt McCoy, but that's just me.
That's just your your gangrene glasses.
Colt McCoy is indeed, and we will have a topic in the chat today. I asked this on my social medias earlier. What's the deal with guacamole? And avocado? Why is that in everything all of a sudden? I stopped at Taco Bell on the way here. Now they have it in a breakfast crunch wrap.
Yep.
I don't know who is selling avocados, like who the sales director of avocado is. That dude is a hammer. Because he's finding a way to get avocado into everything.
Avocado's delicious.
Avocado is awful.
No,
okay?
it's not.
It tastes like a ground-up flip-flop that you dyed green and went, it's good for you. It makes everything taste like a Michelin tire.
No, avocado is awesome. You should definitely have. I mean, it is a staple in all of your Mexican food.
I know.
I can't. I don't want a taco salad, tostado, whatever combination that you put the wrapper around the same ingredients. I need guacamole to be in it.
And I'm going to make this as clear as I can. There is no substance that you could put on my Mexican food that would ruin it more that didn't come out of an animal that is also in my Mexican food. It can be a byproduct of the beef, and I'm not sure I wouldn't object to that less than guacamole.
Yeah, number 32 in the post-draft power rankings, it is the Arizona Cardinals. And, I mean, say something nice. Is there something nice to say about the Cardinals?
I was going to say their uniforms aren't awful, but they look like Ohio State West, so it's not that.
No.
Say something nice. You absolutely fleeced the Houston Texans out of their pick next year. So your bad is going to turn around real fast. So this year's not going to be great. This year on Sundays, maybe learn a book. Maybe take your spouse on a nice picnic.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's going to be a whole lot of games that are the Arizona Cardinals little and whoever they played lot. So there's that.
Compared to the Houston Texans of last year, where we said this was not an NFL roster. Do you feel that way about the Arizona team?
I do.
Really?
I do. Who's the fourth best player on this team?
The fourth best player
Well,
on
I mean,
the team?
obviously, Kyler Murray's up there, DeAndre Hopkins, Zach Ertz. Then what you got?
Buda Baker. He should be one. He should be one with a bullet.
Who's already said, get me out of here. By the way, he should not be one with a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine. He's a good player.
He's the best player they have.
Which really just kind of emphasizes my point.
Not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying he's better than any of those three guys you said.
He's not better than DeAndre Hopkins. When DeAndre Hopkins is healthy, he's still a top 8 receiver in his league.
When he's healthy.
Which I'm not saying that happens a lot.
Right, when he's healthy.
Chris
He's
Dean,
a
our
30-year-old
YouTube
wide
comments.
receiver. Come on.
First one of those of the day with a Marvin Harrison Jr. will help a lot in 2024. I agree with you. A lot. He will be phenomenal catching passes from – I don't know how they're going to find a way to get Caleb Williams, but I just have this funny feeling that they will. I know what I said yesterday, $50 million dead cap hit. I get it. The more I've thought about it, the more I cannot figure out how a front office would look at little Kyler Murray, all 4'6" of him, and go, we're going to pass.
Well, you're tied.
Caleb
Well, you're
Williams.
tied with the money, and you just you trade forward, right? They're going to trade forward. Houston Texans, Arizona Cardinals finish 1 and 2. You're fleecing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
No
who are
doubt.
going to be drafting at 3 or 4 or close to it. Tampa will give up whatever it takes to get up to 1 to get Caleb Williams or get up to 2 to get Drake May, either one. So I don't feel like that's a major problem. Kyler Murray's money sticks you with it, but you're going to be able to recoup that down the line.
Arizona, real bad.
Real bad. Also real bad is going to be the 31st team on the power rankings here post-draft. It's the
Houston Texans.
Houston Texans.
I don't really know what you're doing. So the two best players on this team are C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. Fact or fiction? I had somebody ask me this on Twitter. I think it is a fact. I'm already chalking
Is C.J.
that
Stroud
up.
better than Dameon Pierce? I don't know that I can do that yet. But we'll say the two guys that they drafted at the top of this draft are top 3 on their roster.
No doubt.
Yes.
Because your roster looks like Disney should be making one of those rom-coms about the team that they can't even put their jerseys on the right way. And you see Davis Mills with his name underneath his chin and his long giraffe neck.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden they turn it around and win the Super Bowl.
I see it.
And people like me go, nope, No, sir. That's why we don't watch sports movies, because that is stupid.
I feel like this team is better than last year's team, but that's not saying a lot.
How? Okay, what are they? I have heard this so many times. What are they better at?
Quarterback. It's
are
not
they
close.
Are they though?
Yes.
As a rookie?
Yes.
As a rookie?
C.J. Stroud can look at a football and be better than Davis Mills.
Okay, fact or fiction? We both had problems with how C.J. Stroud progressed through receivers.
Sure.
His receivers at Ohio State were better than what he has in Houston right now.
No doubt.
Do you not see a problem with that?
Of course there's a problem with that, but he's still better than Davis Mills.
CJ, you want me to I'm going to define the Houston Texans' entire season in one dramatic reenactment.
Okay.
Set, hut, run! Falafel!
Falafel.
That's CJ Stroud's entire 2023 season. Run away. Teams
Their
will
offensive
send.
line's not that bad.
It's not great. They still have Kenyon Greene, who you took in the top 15, and he is bad.
Yeah.
And who's the receiver that makes you nervous? Who are you worried about?
Oh, you don't have one.
Well, see, that's the problem. So you see a rookie quarterback, and I, as a defensive coordinator in the NFL, go, hellhounds, all of you, let's go. This is going to be a career day for somebody. And I'm going to send 6 at him all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make you learn on the fly. The problem is, historically, that's not been an advantageous scenario.
All right, and
Hold on, before we move on, I got to address this. Chris D said me coping with Davis Mills being anywhere near C.J. Stroud. As a rookie, C.J. Stroud is not going to be very good. I don't even feel like that's a spicy take. Davis Mills was the definition of average. Historically, he's Colt McCoy that Tank was just saying it'll be enough to take you above the Texans.
It's better than Chris Streveler.
The Houston Texans will be ecstatic if they get the reliability of Colt McCoy out of C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
Rookies, we're going to talk about this tomorrow, historically are not good in this league, especially when they came in with a lot of questions in the first place. I'm not saying Davis Mills is in the neighborhood of his talent. I'm also saying he started 2 years in the NFL. And right now, Davis Mills is a better NFL quarterback than C.J. Stroud. That might change in 4 weeks. But right now, in the midst of your first minicamp, I'm not even sure it's all that close.
It's a weird way to say 4 seconds, but okay. At number 30 in the post-draft power rankings, fire them cannons, by golly, put more powder in those things.
I really thought you were going to fight this more than you did.
I know. This is exactly where I had my team. We had the same 3 teams at the bottom.
Just in a
slightly different order. I had the Houston Texans still as the worst team, and Tampa is the 30th worst team.
The Tampa Bakers.
You cannot expect to win many games in the NFL when your quarterback is either Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask
or new addition, John Wolford.
In fact, John Wolford's already the best quarterback on this roster, and it's not close to me. And that's the kid from Wake Forest that filled in for Matt Stafford for 2 games.
I don't know how this happened.
Or Jared Goff, excuse me.
Somehow Baker Mayfield signed with your team, and now you just exponentially hate him more than I ever did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because now
you
have to own it. Now
I
have to be like, let's go team.
So I have a question.
Yes.
There's not a lot to talk about with your team. Oh, you got receivers. Great. You have nobody get on the ball. You kept your corners. Great. You don't have anybody to rush the passer. I keep doing this for a minute. You also couldn't run a greasy peg up a cat's keister. So I think that's going to be a problem.
I feel like that might be a little different this year, but we'll see.
So what would it take to get you in a Baker Mayfield jersey?
Oh, gosh.
What do you
like
feel
a monetary amount?
No. I want you to lose something because I want this to be a punishment. I want to double dip the sadness of what do I have to be so right about that at some point in the year 2023, you take a freshly sewn Baker Mayfield jersey and just go boop, and put it on and go into public.
Wow, that's...
I believe there is a team we disagree about this much.
Your wager on to make that happen.
I believe there is a team in the NFL that we disagree about this much. The only thing I don't know is what the punishment would be on my side.
That's a good point.
Because there's nobody in this league that I dislike as much as you do Baker Mayfield.
No, I mean I hate Baker Mayfield more than I hated Jameis Winston, and that's saying a lot. Because I hated Jameis Winston,
which is funny because I loved him and now I love Baker Mayfield. He's brought me so much joy.
So much joy already, and it's only just begun.
And he hasn't even thrown nary a pass yet.
Look, I look at my team, I'd say we still have pieces, but as long as you don't have that quarterback, and as long as you have this many holes around your team, I mean, there are few gaping holes on the offensive line. There are a few gaping holes on the edges. Hopefully Shaq Barrett can come back and be healthy this year and provide some pass rush. But other than that, you're banking on a lot of guys that you don't know.
So Tampa Bay, to me, is the easiest team in the NFL to explain. Have you ever purchased a piece of furniture from IKEA?
No.
Really?
No.
As cheap as you are? Never once.
Is that cheap?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%, because you have to assemble it all. All right. This is going to make it.
I mean, I have assembled furniture before, so you could probably continue.
Yeah, but IKEA furniture is different because everything that should be in one piece is in four. And the directions are printed upside down and they're in a language that I don't speak. It's English, but all of these words are in an order that I do not understand. That's the Tampa Bay roster to me. You have all of these pieces, and somebody set the instructions on fire.
Yep.
I have absolutely no idea how you're going to take all these things and turn them into anything cohesive enough to be better than this.
Because who's supposedly leading this team?
Who is the leader of this team? If you had to say, that's the guy that I am riding into the battle with. Because usually it'd be your head coach or your quarterback.
Oh, you mean
and
like
you get Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles.
You mean like the guy on the field that they lean on for advice? Is that what you're saying? Like the guy that's going to spark the team to?
I was really talking. All right, we go full. We've got the Braveheart Mel Gibson speech where you're like, and you're ready to just run out, crack skulls. Who is that guy?
I have no idea.
Ryan Suckup. That's exactly who I thought it was.
He's not even on the team anymore.
Well, no.
We had to let him go because we weren't going to pay a kicker $3 million or $4 million, whatever it was.
I don't make a habit of really knowing who everybody's kicker is in May.
No, I mean, it's not on the coaching staff, I don't think, unless it's Dave Canales that just came over from Seattle. I don't know much about him. But he's
fine.
But is he like a fiery locker room leader kind of guy? Because other than that, we don't have one. You have Todd Bowles who's going to stand up there and go, "Yeah, we're fine, we're okay."
He's got that somebody made duties in this elevator look on his face,
and it looks like Jason Light all over my roster sheet. Woo! This is the Sportsocracy. It is the post NFL draft Power Rankings here on the Power Rankings Tuesday. We will be right back with number 29.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
MOM. 3 little letters that hold so much power, importance, and love. At Ingles, we know that being a mom is its own reward, but it's also the toughest job anyone can take on. So to all the moms out there who save the day, on a daily basis, for kids big and small, we at Ingles got your back. Happy Mother's Day, moms. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with autosave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Did you know you can now build a low-maintenance deck using stone? With Tanzite Stone Decking. Tanzite Stone does not use any plastic whatsoever. It is decking that's naturally durable, just like everything made with stone. Tanzite Stone doesn't scratch at all. The color will never fade. It is not slippery, even when wet. And it stays cool in the sun. Since Tanzite decking is made of stone, it's virtually indestructible. That's why we guarantee it with a lifetime warranty. Discover how incredibly durable and beautiful a stone deck can be. Go to Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com. Online, you'll see how it easily installs over any regular wood deck structure, and you can order a sample to test it for yourself. Build a deck with the durability of stone at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
The following is a message from the future, sent by Jamie from Progressive.
Back in 2023, you could get help from Progressive online, through our mobile app, or over the phone. But here, in the future, you'll be able to chat with us from space. Maybe you're asking, why are you spending time on insurance in space? Shouldn't you be sculpting something out of moon rocks or jumping around with no gravity? Insurance seems more like a back on Earth kind of thing, right? Actually, in the future, space is no big deal. Errands are totally appropriate.
That was a message from the future. Get the help you need today with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumbing a bag of hammers.
It is the Sportsocracy live on ESPN Asheville post NFL draft power rankings.
We got the boo-boo kitty out of the way. The Arizona Cardinals, Houston Texans, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You can put them in any order you want to, but they're not good.
No. Also not good. The team ranked at number 29. It's the LA Rams.
I'm not sure they're not lower than this. I can't figure out how they're supposed to be good.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe, but I think the time has come to realize that, this is over. There was hope. There was hope, and then you lost Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey's now gone. Now you're losing one of the stars on the team, and now you go, I don't know. It made me feel drastically different about this team. Did it you?
Well, I'm looking at the defense now like the Backstreet Boys. It's Justin Timberlake, star.
That was in sync, by the way.
Okay, wrong one. Sorry, not up to date on my boy. Really? Oh, it wasn't. You're right.
Yeah.
I couldn't name a member of the Backstreet Boys. In sync. So you got Justin Timberlake way up here, and then it's 4 dudes.
Nick Lachey, wasn't he in?
No, that was 98 Degrees.
Oh, yeah.
I only know that because he had the show with Jessica Simpson, and who's shocked? 14-year-old Jeremy was a fan.
Only thing I remember about the Backstreet Boys is Frosty Tips. That's why every guy in the early 2000s who thought he was cool had blonde, frosty tips, like Jeremy Greene.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you're talking to one of them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you'll never find a picture of that. And if you do, I'll kill you.
Oh.
You just went full challenge accepted. Trust me, my wife can't find one either. Yeah, you can't use HWA on that one. You're going to have to go.
Kathy!
Yeah, you got to dig into Mama. And Mama knows those pictures don't exist. You can keep them. Nobody else could ever see them.
Who's got a yearbook? There's got to be a picture of it in the yearbook.
There is. I really hope Devin Joba's not listening to the show.
Because my best friend in high school had those, and I was on the yearbook staff, and I made sure to put that.
We're going to want that.
Yeah,
we're going to
want this for future reference to look back on when Scott Cutshaw had platinum blonde hair, and it was gross.
Not me.
And it was gross.
So here's I look at the Rams and go, you got Aaron Donald on defense and nothing else. Do you know who their 2 starting corners are right now? If you get either one of them, I will be stunned.
Is it Darian Kendrick? Is he
That's
one of them?
That's one of them.
And the other one they drafted last year too, didn't they? The kid from South Carolina State?
Hey, you're so close.
What's his name?
Jacoby Durant.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's your 2 starting corners. Oh, and by the way, you're in a division with Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Let's see, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle.
Yep.
Enjoy that.
Good luck.
That's going to go real not good.
Take luck.
I don't see how this team's supposed to be good. You have 3 players that I think are legit NFL starters. It's Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, in a message, repeat the line. And even with those 3, it's better than the other 3 that I just said because you at least have a quarterback.
Because even at every other position, I mean they've lost the names that they had from the Super Bowl run, and they've replaced them with just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of the big names,
I've never seen a roster fall apart this quick.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And so the next time somebody tells me, falafel them picks, I want you to remember how fast this fell apart. Before you tell me the draft doesn't matter and we can just go make trades and we can go add veterans, okay. The 2023 Los Angeles Rams have called. 3-14 it's called.
Whew.
Because I could see it being that bad.
Okay.
I could see it being that bad.
I could as well. I had them at I had them at 28 on my list. At number 28,
the Indianapolis Colts.
Now that's the one I had at 29.
I at least look at the defense and go, okay, you've got DeForest Buckner. You got a couple guys that can get after the quarterback.
Did that last year.
Yeah, but Kwity Paye was hurt. You had a good number of injuries. Oh, and you had Matt Ryan.
Shaq was hurt for a while.
And he missed almost the entire year.
Yeah.
So I look at that defense and go, you can at least stop somebody. And there is a possibility that Anthony Richardson comes in and you can put together some form of a sophomore year Justin Fields offense with Michael Pittman, who's in a contract year, Alec Pierce that you took in the 2nd round last year, Josh Downs that you took in the 3rd round this year, with the tight ends and Jonathan Taylor. I'm not sure that the Colts aren't better than this. And I know we've had a couple of people say that's a weird way to say the Colts with teams we've said before this. I'm not sure they're not better. And I also look at that division and go, the Texans are awful. You're not going to have to wait long to hear the Titans. And that's if they're rolling with Ryan Tannehill, who has had some injury issues in the past.
Convince me on that secondary, though.
The secondary's not good. Any team down here is going to have a huge problem somewhere.
Right. But you said, if the defense is good, convince me on that secondary.
The front seven's so good that you take the pressure off of it. That would be my convincing of them.
And I can get there.
I could argue this is one of the top 10 front sevens in the NFL. You have a top 5 linebacker. You have 3 really good defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only way I could do it. Because with no Stephon Gilmore, no Rock Ya-Sin, it's very Kenny Morey.
I think expecting big things from the Indianapolis Colts after the disaster that was last year in year 1 of Shane Steichen is too much.
I'm not expecting a ton.
3, though,
you're in the AFC. The AFC's a murderer's row. You look at the teams they play, it's not going to be pretty.
Right, but they've got some young talent on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 and 2nd and 3rd years of Shane Steichen could be really good.
If you and I'm sure at some point either this week or next we will get into some of these things. If you're really apt to listening to training camp reports, I will tell you verbatim something I was told about Josh Downs. He's already better than T.Y. Hilton ever was. Secret time came from the same guy that told me about T.Y. Hilton when he was a rookie.
Nice.
So, as if you played fantasy football with me, back in the T.Y. Hilton days, you'll know I was on him before anybody else.
So what you're saying
There's a
is
reason.
Josh Downs comes in and he's immediately the best wide receiver on this team.
There are people that want you to believe that.
Yeah.
There are people that want you to believe that.
Yeah. You know me, I've never been a Michael Pittman as a one guy. But if Josh Downs can be T.Y. Hilton 2.0, then he's your one. Michael Pittman is the really solid 2, i.e. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett kind of a thing.
And I think there's a possibility of that. I also think Anthony Richardson comes into the league and he has one great big advantage. He doesn't have to be polished. This is Trey Lance, Justin Fields, a handful of other guys we've done this with, all the way back to Tim Tebow. It's just different than what you're used to facing. Because you got this gigantic human that can outrun your linebackers and absolutely run over your guys in the back half. So it's not going to be easy to script against, even if Anthony Richardson comes out and he's a 57% passer, which is, to me, is entirely possible. I believe there is a possibility that you're more impressed with Anthony Richardson after 1 year than you are C.J. Stroud, because of the situation he goes into. And the way the game is moving, and this is a great time to be a 6'6", 200 and how I don't remember his exact measurables, that runs a 4.44, because the linebackers are getting smaller. Every position is getting smaller, and now you have this giant that runs 4.4. So I could see this being a softer transition for him than people think. The bad thing is that you're in the AFC. So 12 of your 17 games are going to be against teams that are probably just better than you.
And it's already been mentioned in the YouTube comments a couple of times. It'd be great if the quarterback knew how to throw. Anthony Richardson can throw. He's just not accurate.
Well, his mechanics are – I mean, I'll say the same thing I said in the draft process. I think his mechanics are irretrievably broken. This is a lot like – and you're wearing your Red Sox shirt, so I'll go with a few that have happened over the years. You catch a lot of these guys like R.A. Dickey that, well, he wasn't actually a knuckleball guy in the beginning. The problem is he had this really weird throwing motion. He can only throw a fastball like 85 miles an hour. So you get to a certain point where that's not going to be good enough. And so you learn this weird little pitch that nobody ever sees, and it's really hard to hit. That could be a lot of what you get with Anthony Richardson.
I'm so proud of you.
I know baseball, I just don't like it. That's one of the great misnomers of people watching the show. I know it pretty well. I just don't like it.
Stephen Tao, exactly what I was thinking. They said Lamar couldn't throw, and then he led the league in passing touchdowns.
And you've got to look at why that was. I mean, he was 200 attempts behind the Bradys and guys like that, because you're getting much more open passing lanes, because you've got a safety that's dedicated to you got to keep him in the pocket, or a linebacker, or whatever it is. So there are times that you're playing 11 on 10. It's not that Lamar's a great thrower of the football. That's a myth. And I would say the same thing about Jalen Hurts. If we did the old quarterback club thing and had the targets that were on the little golf carts, I got news for you. Jalen Hurts not going to be great.
Nope.
Neither is Lamar Jackson.
Nope.
Anthony Richardson won't either.
Nope. But it doesn't matter when it comes to winning games.
And
in the right scheme.
Lamar's a good example. To an extent, Justin Fields is an example, and
Hurts.
And Jalen Hurts is an example. This game is changing. Now, I'm not of the belief that the statuesque quarterback it doesn't have a place in this league. I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because, quite frankly, Joe Burrow in a foot race is going to be pretty close to me. Now, he's nimble, but he's not really mobile.
Right.
I don't think you have to be fast. You just can't be lead-footed. So, I mean, I think there's a path that Anthony Richardson's better than people think. Yeah. Quick. If there's a team I'm really wrong on, I think it's the Colts.
I would tend to agree. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The post-draft power rankings continue next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville. A couple of sprinkles possible coming in from the northwest. Some lower humidity comes in tomorrow. We're in the mid-50s for tonight. Little cold front sinks through Wednesday with some sunshine, slightly cooler, 76 tomorrow. Low 50s tomorrow night in the valley, 40s with elevation. And 70s and 80s return Thursday, Friday. And the chance for rain is back coming up this weekend here in Asheville. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen.
DQ presents The Sound of Summer calling. Hey, it's me, Summer. You gotta get to DQ for the new Summer Blizzard menu, like new peanut butter puppy chow and the return of s'mores. Okay, see ya. Get it in the app. DQ, happy tastes good.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, "Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing." Or this one, "I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better." Unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
This is Lars.
James from Metallica here.
And this is iHeartRadio.
What's up? This is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park.
We're the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen. Let's keep moving forward.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday.
Feels good to have 3 hours of football.
That's right. Post-NFL draft, Power Rankings. Already we've been through the Cardinals, the Texans, the Bucks, the Rams, and the Colts. Those are your bottom 5.
Those are your bottom feeders.
Now it's time for number 27. The Chicago Bears.
I like what you've done to the roster, okay? You are now legitimately an NFL roster. Mm-hmm. You're out of the bottom of the bad. You do understand this roster's still not good, right? I keep seeing Chicago in the top 20 going, what am I missing here?
It's an improved roster.
No doubt.
But will they be able to translate it into wins is my question, and I don't know that would be the case. I mean, you look at the weapons and you go, okay, now Justin Fields has DJ Moore.
Woohoo!
Woo! Awesome. I mean, it's better than what he had last year. You add that to Darnell Mooney. Okay. Chase Claypool has been an aberration for the last 2 years. So
nope, didn't use that word right. He's been an invisible man. An aberration would mean that he's been special. He has not been that.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I don't get it. And I keep seeing it over and over and over and over again. I don't know who they're supposed. All right, so I've looked at the schedule. You do catch some good at home. All right, so you play the 3 teams in your division. Arizona Cardinals, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons and the Panthers, you're going to lose at least one of those. Broncos, probably lose that one. Raiders and the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Or Raiders and the miss somebody. Raiders. Okay, it's probably 4 to 5 wins at home. Then I look at the away, and you have to go to Lambeau. You have to go to Minnesota. You have to go to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to go to the Browns, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Saints, the Buccaneers, and the Commanders. That's just a slew of losses. If they win 2 games on the road, you should consider this the greatest year in Chicago Bear history because that schedule is evil. And I think you're a year away. Now, a year from now, you're going to have Carolina's pick. You're going to have your own pick in a draft that's really, really good. And I firmly believe a year from now, you're going to be looking for another quarterback. Because I think now you're going to give him all the weapons and all the excuses are going to go away and the product's not going to change. Do you?
I don't see anything really changing. I don't think that they'll be picking last or first.
No, I
don't
don't either.
No, they won't pick first or second, but they'll more than likely pick 6 to 9.
All right, so year over year, Justin Fields played 10 games his rookie year, 15 games last year. He was a 58.9% completion guy his rookie year, 60.5 last year. Touchdown to interception ratio was 7 to 10 his rookie year, 17 to 11 his his second year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's just keep the progression we've already seen. Maybe add a little bit because the roster has gotten better. Say he gets to 62%, throws 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Where's that put you?
How many touchdowns
24.
does he run?
Does he run?
Yeah.
Let's see. Last year he had 8. That was on 160 rushes. I struggle to believe that he's going to run more than 12 times a game. I'll keep that all the same. Bump it up to 10.
Okay.
Say he rushes for 1,100 yards again, 10 touchdowns.
Okay.
So he's responsible for 34 total.
So he's Jalen Hurts with not as many interceptions? Or with more interceptions, excuse me?
Jalen Hurts had a much higher completion percentage than that. But, okay. All right, even let's say that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Where's this team finish? 7-10? Is that the high side?
Probably.
I would agree.
8 and 9 would be sky is the
8
limit.
and 9, you beat somebody you weren't supposed to.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Literally, you beat somebody you were not supposed to, which you did last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was in a monsoon where they couldn't throw and you didn't want to, which I feel like people forget. But I can't have them any higher than that right now. I spent a lot of time on the Bears because I do like what they did in the offseason,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't think it's going to have a massive improvement year over year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that roster better than the Packers right now?
Yes.
I disagree with you vehemently. The roster? Take the quarterback out. 2 to 53.
No, I
there
mean,
you go.
Yeah, I mean, the Green Bay roster is better.
Exponentially better. And I got news for you. You're not going to be waiting long on Green Bay.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, you say you factor in Jordan Love.
This is where I had Green Bay.
Well, I mean, you say you factor in Jordan Love. How much worse is Jordan Love than Justin Fields? I don't think it's significant.
Be terrible. He doesn't have the rushing ability that Justin Fields has.
He's mobile-ish. He's not as mobile as Justin Fields.
Right.
I would say he has an exponentially better arm, accuracy-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Got a much better throwing motion.
Mm-hmm.
Has 14 rookie and second-year receivers to throw to, which I don't love. But
I don't buy the Jordan Love thing. I don't really buy Justin Fields either.
The next three teams, the Bears and the next two coming up, were the hardest three to differentiate in the power rankings for me. Not close.
I absolutely agree with that.
Because you all three have rosters that I'm in varying degrees of like with, and quarterbacks that I'm in varying degrees of absolutely can't stand.
At number 26.
The Let's Ride Denver Broncos.
This is too low. Right? It's too low.
Is it? All right, sell me this is too low.
Sean Payton. Sean Payton is worth more than this. More than the, seventh worst team in the NFL.
Okay. Why?
This is one of the greatest coaches of all time.
I'm going to act like you didn't say that because I have blood coming out of my ears.
You don't think so?
He's not in the top 10, and I don't think that's even debatable.
Okay. So he's top 20? That's
said
still a pretty long list.
Yeah, you said one of the greatest of all time, and I feel like there's you got to have a benchmark there somewhere, and it is nowhere near for me.
Okay.
Here's my problem with Denver. Look at who they play. It's hard to find wins. And their schedule is evil.
Okay.
You'll be at the Dolphins, and this is I'm taking this directly off DenverBroncos.com because they tried to project the schedule. So there's no real rhyme or reason to this. At the Dolphins, home to the Jets, home to the Raiders, at the Bears, at the Chiefs, Vikings, Browns, at the Texans, Packers, Patriots, at the Lions, at the Chargers, Chiefs, Commanders, at the Bills, Chargers, at the Raiders. If they get to 8 wins, Sean Payton should be the coach of the year. With Russell Wilson in the AFC against that schedule, you should win coach of the year, undeniably.
And with Sean Payton, I feel like that's not to me. I feel like that's not only doable, but if Russell Wilson takes a step forward with
and you expect him to do that at 34 years old,
sure,
I don't.
With a new scheme, things are going pretty different down there, and he's got the weapons.
So
I think it can happen.
I'm going to make my sweeping declaration with the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
I think it's abundantly obvious that Russell Wilson's not the future 4 weeks in. And I think it shows on Sean Payton's face quicker than that. It doesn't make any sense. You go back and watch what Drew Brees did to make Sean Payton one of the greatest coaches of all time. Russell Wilson can't do any of it. None of it. Literally none of it. Sit in the pocket and throw dimes. You ever seen him do that? I mean, I'll dare you to go back and find me the year that he did. You can pull statistical. He was 60. I think 66 is the highest completion percentage he's ever had.
Somewhere in there.
Even that year, over 15% of his throws from outside the pocket. Peyton never did that. Drew Brees would sit in the pocket and throw dimes. I feel like this team's going to run the ball a lot, and you just get into this. You're bringing a pea shooter to a gunfight. Because you're going up against Justin Herbert and Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen and Tua Tagovailoa, and I think it's going to be abundantly clear really, really quick that you just don't have the quarterback. I also think there's a possibility that a year from now we're looking at Sean Payton going, did we overvalue you? Not because I don't think he's a good coach. I think he is. But I kind of go back to that thing I said when Denver brought him in. He does have a little Mike McCarthy with a better PR team. Historically, they're pretty similar. So I'm not ready to look at what I saw last year and go, that was all Nathaniel Hackett. No, Russell Wilson was a dumpster fire before, during, and after Nathaniel Hackett. So, sorry, I don't put it all on him. I think Sean Payton will help. And that's why you got out of the bottom 5, because that's where you were.
Okay. Denver Broncos coming in at number 26.
You want them over this next team, don't you?
Oh, and it's not close to me.
And I can – this is the one that I can go, okay.
Number 25 is the Green Bay Packers, and I have them well behind the Broncos, and I have them pretty well behind the Bears too.
Yeah, I'm not there. Because if you look at the starters, 2 to 22 – if Jordan Love is even a serviceable Baker Mayfield level quarterback, you still have a very good roster.
You can run the ball.
You've got a line that when it's healthy is really good. You've got a bunch of young defensive players. You got 2 really good corners. And I feel like people are just throwing that baby out with the bathwater. Yeah, I don't like your quarterback either, but it's not like the rest of the roster went with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you lost Lazard. Whoopee woo.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to have a whole lot of role anyway. That's why they didn't even attempt to re-sign him. And I look at the young guys and go, there's a way you could construct a passable offense here. Not telling you it's going to be special by any stretch of the imagination. But to say that their roster is not better than the Bears is asinine to me. I probably couldn't name you a position where the Bears are better than them other than maybe receiver. And even then, I'm getting into DJ Moore and Christian Watson are very similar players. They do a lot of the same thing. And Green Bay runs the ball better. And defensively, the talent's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Joe Barry runs them into the rocks again, well, then oops. Yeah, you should have fired him, and that I will say.
I was going to say, that's kind of where my mind's at, is that we expected that Green Bay defense to be the savior last year when things weren't clicking with Aaron and the young kids in the wide receiver core. It never happened.
Okay.
I mean, until way late in the season, it was well too late for them to make the playoffs.
All right, I'm going to say something, and I genuinely mean it. I'm not sure that in Green Bay, it's not going to translate to wins and losses. I'm not sure that Aaron was an addition by subtraction because you got the old guy with all these young guys, and it just didn't click.
Mm-hmm.
It might click a little better with Jordan Love. Not saying you're going to get better quarterback play. You might get a more cohesive team.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, it'll be time for Jeremy's Bangers of the Night, 2 in the NBA, and then we'll continue with the power rankings after.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA choice and prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Meet Joe A, Joe B, and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with autosave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
O'Reilly. Improve visibility and save $8 instantly when you pick up a pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Bosch Icon Premium Blades can help you see better and drive safer. And our professional parts people will install them for you for free. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coffee's for closers only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
2-2 last night we have two series on the brink just as I thought we would. The Knicks and the Warriors both look like they're done like dinner, but tonight we have two series that could still play out in different ways. I'll try to sort through it and make this a profitable night in the NBA. This is Greene on Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. The Philadelphia 76ers are a 7.5-point dog tonight at Boston, over under 213. I'm going to start with the easy part. The over here just seems too good to be true. 3 of the 4 games in this series would cover this number. The only one that didn't was Game 2, and Philly put up 87 points total. Boston is 7-1 covering the over in the last 8. For the season, they're 27-18-1 covering the over at TD Garden. Now, as for how the game goes, the Sixers have really struggled with the Celtics in Boston. They've only covered twice in their last 9 games at the Garden and are only 5-15 straight up against the Celtics in their last 20. And I know all of that. However, there is still the factor of playoff James Harden, who has been an absolute dog in the Sixers' wins in this series. I also know that the only way the Sixers can get over this hump is to win a game in Boston, and I can't imagine that being in Game 7 with the Garden in its most electric state. The Sixers are playing with house money. They're lucky to be in this series. They're lucky this series is tied. But I'm sure I'm not the only one that's noticed how much easier it is for James Harden to get what he wants when he's not guarded by Jaylen Brown. I'm going out on the limb here. Look for Harden to go right at Brown early with the intention of getting him in foul trouble again, and the Sixers play loose and find a way to win this game. I can't give you a great reason why tonight is the night other than gambler's intuition, but I'm taking the Sixers plus 7.5. I'll take them to win outright and over the 213. Finally, my 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets are a 5.5-point favorite tonight at home against the Phoenix Suns, over under 227.5. Okay, so I've heard this narrative that the Suns are playing so much more up-tempo and scoring points much more easily with Chris Paul out of the lineup. I can't disagree with any of that. It's completely true. Now, ask yourself this question. If this was the magic elixir, why did it take them so long to figure it out? Let me answer that. Because Cameron Payne can't play dead in the Western defensively, and you mark my words, Jamal Murray is going to go absolutely nanners tonight. No one has ever doubted Payne's ability to score. There's a reason he's been a DFS cheat code for years, but people are forgetting the opposite side of that fact. They also seem to be forgetting that the Denver Nuggets are one of the best teams in the NBA at home, and they're coming off an emotional loss in Phoenix that involved the new owner of the Suns. Look for Denver to come in with a chip on their shoulder and to put it on Phoenix early and often. That being said, I could easily see this being closer than it should be, and it could stay that way until the very end. I'm completely locked in on the Nuggets to win this game. The points make me really nervous, but I'm still giving the 5.5, and I will confidently go over the 227.5. For more, follow us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, Greene on Greene is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A couple of sprinkles possible coming in from the northwest. Some lower humidity comes in tomorrow. We're in the mid-50s for tonight. A little cold front sinks through Wednesday with some sunshine, slightly cooler, 76 tomorrow. Low 50s tomorrow night in the valley, 40s with elevation. And the 70s and 80s return Thursday, Friday. And the chance for rain is back coming up this weekend here in Asheville. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by GetRefunds.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. If you own a business and still haven't applied for the payroll tax refund, we want to pay a licensed tax attorney to see if you're eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
The following is a message from the future, sent by Jamie from Progressive.
Back in 2023, you could get help from Progressive online, through our mobile app, or over the phone. But here, in the future, you'll be able to chat with us from space. Maybe you're asking, why are you spending time on insurance in space? Shouldn't you be sculpting something out of moon rocks or jumping around with no gravity? Insurance seems more like a back on Earth kind of thing, right? Actually, in the future, space is no big deal. Errands are totally appropriate.
That was a message from the future. Get the help you need today with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
Summit Racing has the parts and accessories to get your ride summer road trip ready. With millions of parts from the best brands in stock, you'll find exactly what you need to hit the highway or take the road less traveled. SummitRacing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer? I'm Sam Mewis. And I'm Lynn Williams. And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks. It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you. You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. Game 5 of the NBA
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
Games apiece. Celtics sixth man Malcolm Brogdon says it's time to forget about the losses and last possession difficulties and just take care of business at home.
We're playing a good team. There's a lot of respect on this end for that team in Philly, but these are games we should have won, and, we're going to come out the right way tonight. It's a desperation mindset for us tonight. We have to have this one.
That is Malcolm Brogdon of the Celtics. The other NBA playoff game of the Tuesday schedule, Phoenix at Denver. That series also 2-2. Suns will be without guard Chris Paul, missing his third straight game due to a groin injury. Pair of Game 4s in the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight on ESPN and the app. 7 p.m. Eastern, Carolina at New Jersey. 9:30 Eastern, Colorado at Seattle. In baseball, the Mets have scratched Max Scherzer from his scheduled start tonight against the Reds due to back spasms. And Aaron Judge off the injured list, expected to be in the starting lineup for the Yankees against the A's. He's been out dealing with a hip injury since April 27th.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
This is ESPN Asheville, and it's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy live from the Ingles Studio. Watch us on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat as we debate here on a Power Rankings Tuesday. The post-draft Power Rankings, of course, this is really post-off-season. Not much left to do in the off-season for these teams. There's a couple of free agents here and there that are still available, but nothing that's really going to change anything.
Not much that will move the needle.
Exactly. So we're going through the list here, as we always do, 32-1. And before we continue with the power rankings, we're going to say happy birthday, happy 30th to Eat and Sleep Football in our YouTube comments.
Without a doubt, the most domestic lights I ever had in one day was my 30th birthday. And I was with Tank. It was one of the first days that we ever actually, outside of – it was on a March Madness Thursday.
Yes, it was.
Florida State played Xavier. They literally could have handed out the winning lottery numbers at tip-off of that game. They wouldn't know.
It was a fun day. Was a very fun day.
Speak for yourself on that one. It wasn't necessarily all that fun for me.
Well, I mean, it was fun when I left. And then Jeremy kept going after that, as he always does.
Woo!
And, it's...
Qualify. Oh, no.
Decisions were made, headaches were had, and we move on.
And I woke up the next day, St. Patrick's Day. Let's go again.
But happy 30th to Eat and Sleep Football. We appreciate you always being a part of the family here. And when you got a birthday coming up, just let us know. We'll shout you out on the air as well. Listening to us everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, Power Rankings Tuesday. We're up to number 24. And it's the Tennessee Titans.
This is another team that was hard for me to place. I think they're going to play defense really well.
Mm-hmm.
They made Derrick Henry really well.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me Will Levis plays more than 8 games, I have them at least 4 spots too high. But Are you going to be shocked if they Ryan Tannehill gross out 7-10, 8-9, 9-8?
No.
I'm not either.
No.
Not either. In the least. It will not surprise me in the least. And I don't know how they're going to do it. But they always find a way. There have been many years now where we've said, what? The offensive line is not as good as I would like it to be, and your weapons are awful. Yep, that would be 3 years in a row.
Yep. And I have them about the same place in my power rankings. And I have another team that we're going to talk about in just a little while right next to them because I feel like they're very similar teams. So just a little tease for coming up. Look, the Tennessee Titans they've got players. They just don't have enough players.
No.
Right?
If you can run the ball and you can play defense, it's going to keep you at least competitive. And that's what I think Tennessee is. They're also a vet team. And I don't see 5-12, no matter how bad the roster is. I don't see Mike Vrabel going 5-12.
I don't either. At number 23, the Las Vegas Raiders. And I can't believe that you're lower on them than I am.
Really?
I have them at 22.
Who do you have behind them that I don't?
We'll get to them in a second.
Okay.
It's the same team that I just teased.
We'll
get to them
and I'll be honest with you, I felt like I had the Raiders too low, but I keep coming back to Josh McDaniels. It is so hard for me to believe in anything that he's selling. I like the weapons with Devontae and Devontae. Bringing back Josh Jacobs. I think the line has improved, at least to some shred. And I really like adding Tyree Wilson to Chandler Jones.
The line has improved with what? What did they do to improve the line? Or is this just another year of cohesiveness?
I've always liked Dylan Parham. You know that. Raider fans have screamed every year, we don't need to improve the line. Well, I think you do.
You do. You needed to do.
But you keep not doing it.
Yeah, you needed to do a lot more in the offseason than you did, in my opinion. Aside from Colton Miller, and I'll give you Dylan Parham. I don't like anything else on that line. Andre James, I guess, is fine. Not a big fan.
He's the definition of average.
Right.
And Jermaine Illuminor was not bad last year.
You got dudes on the right side of that line. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I like the Jacoby Myers thing. I really like the Jad and Michael Mayer. And I think they're going to be better. I just don't really know how. I don't think they were as bad last year as they showed. There was something more going on in that locker room last year than what met the eye. At least I think there was.
Isn't there always something more going on with the Las Vegas Raiders? This is why, like, you hooked me in, right? You remember last year, at the beginning of the season, I kept saying I feel like the hatred is gone. I like this team.
Well, that's the thing is that it's a Tank Spencer kiss of death.
I guess.
I mean, if you like them, they're awful. If you hate them, they're good.
And then by the end of the season, Las Vegas Raiders, they're right where I thought they would be.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo an improvement over Derek Carr?
No.
I don't think it
Not
is.
really.
I don't think it is either. I think the defense will be better.
I mean, maybe for that system, he's an improvement. But I can't say definitively.
Chris D said that Josh McDaniels is one of the great offensive minds. As a coordinator, I've seen that. As a coach, I've never seen it. I've never. He was talking about McVay. Never mind. Because the reason I said that was to lead into what I was getting ready to say. If you told me Josh McDaniels got fired 5 games into the season and Patrick Graham was the coach, I would like them exponentially more.
I could see that.
I really do. I think there is something about him, and I've heard stories, none of which I can really confirm, but there's just a lot of he just really wears on people. And I don't like that. And that's why they're down here. I think this roster is more talented than this. You have more high-end players than any team around you, and I don't think it's all that close. But I don't see how you're any better than them.
But you just can't make it work.
I think they're better than the Broncos. I think, and you and I disagree on that.
Yes.
I don't see.
The Broncos are a team that I had ahead of them.
And I
didn't. Actually, no, I didn't. I had them one spot ahead. I had them right beside each other.
Now, the funny thing is if Sean Payton was the coach of the Raiders, I'd probably have him in the top 15. That's how little I like Russell Wilson.
Interesting. All right, at number 22.
The New England Patriots.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming here pretty soon. And, again, this is another team that we're not far off on by one spot.
I don't do well.
Exactly. I don't say you Ramondre Stevenson really well.
And even with that, you were talking about adding a running back in the it's very clunky. I look at the Patriots roster, and there's just a lot of clunky. I like that you got Christian Gonzalez. That's a rookie that's not really going to change a lot of your fortunes, I don't believe.
I think the addition of Juju Smith-Schuster will help make Mac Jones look better, but you still have a bottom five-ish quarterback in the league.
Is Juju Smith-Schuster a better receiver than Jacoby Myers? No, he's not.
No.
By any metric you want to gauge this on, he's not. He looked good with Pat Mahomes at times. Now he's going from Pat Mahomes to Mac Jones or Bailey Zapp or whatever you plan on doing. And then I just look around the division and go, you are grossly behind every team in this division. You're not even in the ballpark. No Smile said Juju's a slight upgrade to Jacoby Myers. I disagree. One's slot specific, one's not. One played with Pat Mahomes, one played with Mac Jones. And I know statistically what you're going to say. Those things aren't in a vacuum. All right, you give Jacoby Myers to Pat Mahomes, and then let's see what that stat line looks like.
Right.
I don't see it. I don't see how you're supposed.
I was waiting for you to see that.
Good Lord. They'll finish above the Jets.
No Smile says.
You know what? I'll make any wager with you that you want to on that. And I'll bet you Aaron Rodgers spanks them like a small child twice. You know the thing I said last year, if the Jets get the chance to blow them out, they will. Yeah, they get two chances.
It's coming.
And one of them's in Boston.
Oh, it's coming.
So it's just I think the roster's fine. Bills is the all-timer coach. I'm just looking around the conference going, okay, what do you do better than anybody? Like quarterback, you're in the bottom three of this division, or as you're in the bottom three of this conference, there's no way to get around it. I don't think the rosiest colored Patriots fan glasses could say you're in anything but the bottom three in the AFC. In terms of quarterback?
There are some of them out there.
They do recreational drugs. That's the only way I could. Yeah, you cannot.
I told
look
you
at
one
it.
of the funniest things I read this offseason was an article yesterday from some New England Patriots blogger saying that Mac Jones is a top 15 quarterback in this league. Those people do exist. They're completely wrong, but those people do exist.
I can't figure out how you're supposed to do it. All right, you're going to play good defense and grind it. Okay, Jalen Mills is going to wind up on somebody much better than him against all three teams in your division. I don't see how they win a game in the division. And I'm not even talking about the fact you have to play the NFC East and the AFC West. It could be really bad. It could be really, really bad.
It could be. I could see them losing almost every game in the division except for that game against the Jets. They always get you once.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that
There's a little difference
today.
There might be a difference between Aaron Rodgers and Mark Sanchez.
Nah, not much. Not much.
And now he's saying we're haters. No, it's okay. Make the case for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We're going to move on to the next team. You make the case for me, and if it makes even logical sense, I'll regurgitate it into this microphone. Because I've been trying my damnedest to figure out how you're going to do it, and I can't. Because, yes, you're going to get out to the quarterback to an extent. But then you get into you've got a corner.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a corner. You've got two really old tackles, and you're in arguably the best division in football.
Yep. So, at number 21.
Oh, I guess I do need the list pulled up for that, don't I?
It's the Carolina Panthers. I want to argue with this. I really do. Every part of me wants to say, hold the phone. Let's grab the reins on these horses and pull it back just a little bit. But I just can't. I look at the coaching staff that Carolina's put together, and I am all in on the Bryce Young train. I like the weapons. I like the defense on this team. And for once, I feel like your offensive line is pretty good.
You got – here's where I'm at with Carolina. You got, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the best quarterback in this class with a coaching staff that I really feel like can do a lot with them. And the defense was pretty good in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
The defense got put in terrible positions by Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. I don't think you're going to do that. I don't think you're going to do that with Bryce Young. They're going to contain him to the point that he can do what got him here. Now, do I have two other teams in your division ahead of you? I do. But not by much.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, it's by as little as I could physically have them. I love what Carolina's done. I would be remiss if I swear to you, I'm not trying to throw cold water on this. I would be remiss if I didn't say this is a lot of change. This is a whole new playbook.
Mm-hmm.
This is all new weapons. And Terrace Marshall and Shi Smith, that's fine. I could argue that you're 4 and you're 5.
Right.
It's a lot of change in 1 year with a rookie quarterback. So I can't tell you that it's going to look as good as you want it to off the jump. But I think you give it time. If you're lucky, it really starts to click about mid-year, and you could win this division.
Yes, and by mid-season, you go on that run that no one in the division can stop you, and you end up winning this division, making the playoffs, and leaving a whole lot of hope on the table for the Roaring Riot fan base.
Fact or fiction, this is the first team in the power rankings that can win their division. I don't even think it's debatable.
Oh, fact.
I can physically not find a path that anybody below them wins their division.
I would agree.
But I like what Carolina's done.
Mm-hmm.
And after the break, we'll talk about 2 other teams in the division. And I can't separate them, and there's a really basic reason why.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville post-NFL Draft Power Rankings here on a Power Rankings Tuesday.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slowing approaching Long Shoals Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Long Shoals Road stop and go east and westbound between Overlook Road and I-26 due to an accident on the eastbound side. Hendersonville Road is moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, no backups. Checking the drive time from Weaverville to Woodfin by US 19 Business southbound and Future 26 eastbound. Drive time 10 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer? I'm Sam Mewis. And I'm Lynn Williams. And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks. It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you. You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
May 14th is Mother's Day. Be sure to spread the love with flowers from Stargazers Designs. Visit us online at stargazersfloraldesigns.com or call us now to get your order in early at 828-254-3621. Stargazers Floral Designs.
Meet Joe A, Hi. Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine. Fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did... For a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Select a request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders.
Real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It is a Power Rankings Tuesday here on ESPN Asheville, and as we continue here at the top 20 post-NFL draft, number 20.
The Atlanta Falcons.
And this is the one. This is the one I was teasing earlier. You had the Tennessee Titans down there. They play good defense and they run the ball well. Okay.
Yeah,
to me, those two teams are eerily similar. And shocker of shockers, the coach of one came from the other.
Yeah, but I like Atlanta way better.
Because of Kyle Pitts and Drake London?
No, because I think they might be the two most underutilized assets in the NFL. The line is way, way better than Tennessee. Now, Ryan Tannehill's better than Desmond Ridder.
Mm-hmm.
I could be getting completely snowed by everything Atlanta's doing. I'm just looking at the defense going, you have a leader at all three levels now. Jesse Bates, A.J. Terrell, Calais Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
So that's three, in my opinion, high-level veteran guys to go with a lot of young talent that I just think is going to be good. I think this defense is going to be really good. And then I look at the offense and go, you know what? I've watched Baltimore do this. I've watched Baltimore do this where they just run the ball down your throat, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Bijan Robinson's the best running back that either of those two teams have had, I would say, in the last 10 years, in terms of a team that is planning on doing this, where we're going to run more than anybody in the league. This is already one of the best rushing teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That was with Tyler Algier and Cordero Patterson. What do you think they're going to do with the best running back prospect I've seen since Saquon Barkley?
How many more carries are there to go around, though?
All right, so average in the NFL is about 67 snaps.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's if you averaged out the entire league, that's the number that we mentally say you can expect in an average-paced game. I would say Atlanta runs 47 times a game. I could easily see a path where this team is 2-1 pass to run. Or run to pass, excuse me, I said it backwards. And if that's the case, I could see a path that they're just going to wear you out. They could just wear you down. And then they're not easy to score on. Is it going to be fun to watch? No. No, it's not. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons are going to be eye broccoli for at least the next 365 days until there's a legit NFL quarterback on this roster, because Desmond Ridder is not. But I could still see it working to an extent. I could see them winning this division. It wouldn't shock me in the least.
They could. They could win the division. But to me, on paper, I feel like they're the second worst team in this division. Or I guess I should say it third best team in this division, because there's such a gap to me between the top three and my sucking ears.
Okay. Make the argument for me that Carolina's better than Atlanta with something you can tangibly show me. Bryce Young is a hypothesis.
Yes, it is.
You cannot give me anything more than guesswork on Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm. They're very similar teams to me.
They have a lot of young talent on defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely new scheme for Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like Atlanta is just a fraction ahead of them right now. I could be wrong in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We could watch 3 Carolina Panther games next year and me go, whoa, you remember when I thought Atlanta was better than them? That was stupid.
Yeah. And see, that's kind of where my brain's at right now with the Carolina Panthers. I like all the additions that they've made, but you don't have the quarterback. And I look at their team is better than mine.
No doubt.
Not saying that it's even really all that relatively close at this point. But your quarterback situation is roughly the same, in my opinion. You don't have a legit big boy NFL quarterback, and that is going to kill you when it matters.
And I agree with that. I just don't know how much that he's going to be asked to do. I've seen Arthur Smith run an offense with a mediocre quarterback where playing within the confines of the offense, you made a guy that I once said was not an NFL quarterback more than usable.
Mm-hmm.
And he could do it with Desmond Ridder. And it wouldn't shock me.
I guess that's fair. At number 19.
The New Orleans Saints. I remember, they're back to back because I have no idea. There is great change with all 3 of these teams. It is the worst division in football. It is not close.
Mm-hmm.
Not even kind of close. That's what opens this up. If Carolina, Atlanta, or New Orleans were in any other division in the NFL, I would say they have 0 shot to win the division. Fact or fiction?
Yeah, fact.
Well, here's the thing. They're all in one, so somebody has to win it. And getting to play each other 6 times that's a step up. And with New Orleans, I just come back to one thing. I think I think every team in this division will be able to play defense to some shape, form, or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I think New Orleans has the most defensive talent. And they have Derek Carr.
Yep.
You have a quarterback that I've seen be a big boy in this league.
Mm-hmm.
None of the rest of you.
That's where I come back to New Orleans, and being a division winner to me, or a favored division winner to me, has to put you in the top half of the league. So I had the New Orleans Saints at 16. They were my last top half of the team.
I just can't go that high. Because Dennis Allen just scares me to death.
Mm-hmm. He should.
And I don't know what's going to happen with Kamara. I feel like you're hedging a lot on Michael Thomas. And so to me, it's just there's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of unknown, and I don't know what to do with it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like
there's only one team I've got in front of them that I think you could even make the argument for. And it's not even the next one.
Okay. That's a little weird, but okay.
I have one team that I just so happen to be really fond of. I'm sure people are not going to like it, but it is what it is.
So the next team on the list, number 18.
The Minnesota Vikings. You ever heard that term, hubris comes shortly before the fall?
Sure.
I can't imagine how this team doesn't just absolutely fall off a cliff.
I don't know about fall off a cliff. Is it possible to win 11 one-score games again? No, it's not. Those things are cyclical. And, as much as we talked about Kirk Cousins over the years and one-score games, I mean, when it comes down to it, can Kirk Cousins win you a game? Sometimes he can. Last year was an aberration where he helped you win every game that was close.
So you were the luckiest team in NFL history when it came into one-score games.
Mm-hmm.
And every statistical metric will tell you that. The chances of any team ever doing that again are well over 1,000,000 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to recite their schedule. You tell me who you know they're better than. At Atlanta, at Carolina, at Chicago. These are all on the road. Denver, Detroit, Green Bay, Vegas. Is there one game they win there? That's 8 games on the road. Just unequivocally, I know they're going to win this game.
Chicago. I mean, I feel like
they're going to go into Chicago. Let's say that game's in December. You're going to go into Chicago in the cold where Kirk has never been good and beat them?
Probably.
I don't buy it. And it's definitely not a definitive.
Mm-hmm.
Home games are Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, the Chargers, the Bengals, the 49ers, the Eagles. I could make a convincing argument this team will be lucky to win 5 games. Because you have Justin Jefferson and nothing else.
Jordan Addison.
Woo. It's a rookie. It's a rookie who a lot of teams had a lot of questions about.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is really little. And that's all you've got. You're getting into KJ Osborne and
who's not terrible. He's not good. He's not a star. He's just okay.
Are you beating Pat Mahomes with that? Beating Justin Herbert with that? You beating Joe Burrow with that? Well, that's a problem because that's who you play. Yeah, all of the advantages you got last year,
you don't have.
You burned every one of those in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make a sweeping declaration because I have a little bit of intel on how the schedule is going to look. Just a few random leaks that have bounced around league circles.
Mm-hmm.
We will walk away from Thursday when the schedule comes out and go, who in the world did the Vikings make angry in the NFL office? Because this is evil. There's a path. There is a path that this is one of the 6 worst teams in the NFL.
I can't see it. I really can't see
it. Wait till the put a pin in that until the schedule comes out, and then I want to remind you said that you've seen no path.
I don't. I feel like the team will be better defensively. I feel like they filled the holes that they lost in the secondary with Patrick Peterson and others leaving.
With one slot corner?
Marcus Davenport being added to the pass rush.
Who I don't like.
I know you don't like him.
He wasn't good in New Orleans, and now he's going into now he's got to go learn a new scheme.
Yeah, but he's on the other side of Danielle Hunter, and that'll take some pressure off. He'll have the ability.
I see a lot of young guys that I have absolutely no idea what they're going to be. I see a really young defense that lost several vet guys, and now you have to go up against one of the more evil schedules in the league.
Schedule's going to matter, but Kirk Cousins is still Kirk Cousins. Look, you can knock him all you want to, but he's one of the most he's one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the league.
He's a league average. Where we sit now, he is a slightly above average quarterback in the NFL.
Yes,
with lesser weapons. They're talking about trading his running back. That, for whatever reason, is just not going away.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't buy your defense.
I don't know how much lesser the weapons are. I really don't. With T.J. Hawkinson and Jordan Addison being added in the draft, you still have Justin Jefferson. K.J. Osborne's still there. You're replacing a 33-year-old wide receiver. Weird.
And I'm going to say, I knew I was going to use this phrase at some point, and I started to think this towards the end of last year. And it really showed in the Colts game where you should have gotten absolutely blown out by one of the worst teams in the league, but they decided, oh, yeah, we're one of the worst teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys, who absolutely annihilated them, I think the league figured them out. The Kevin O'Connell thing, I had lunch with Sean McVay. If you look at how the last month and the playoffs went for Minnesota, I think the league figured them out. And now you have done nothing to really alleviate that. I like Jordan Addison. I'm not saying that I didn't. I've had a lot of people say that of all the receivers you could have gotten in the first round, that might have been the one that helped you the least. Just because of the fit and where you're going to be able to scheme him and how you're going to be able to use him.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, number 17 in the post-NFL draft power rankings. Coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A couple of sprinkles possible coming in from the northwest. Some lower humidity comes in tomorrow. We're in the mid-50s for tonight. Little cold front sinks through Wednesday with some sunshine, slightly cooler, 76 tomorrow. Low 50s tomorrow night in the valley, 40s with elevation. And 70s and 80s return Thursday, Friday. And the chance for rain is back coming up this weekend here in Asheville. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue, 26 westbound slowing approaching Long Shoals Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On Long Shoals Road east end westbound between Overlook Road and I-26, expect delays. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road, moving from Sandhill Road to Brevard Road, is slow. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue northbound near Weaver Park, traffic slow. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home when it's time to buy. Visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Feels good to be back in the warm embrace of a Power Rankings Tuesday. Just as things should be here in the Sportsocracy. It is the post-NFL draft Power Rankings Tuesday. As we roll on here, getting close to the top half of the league, but just missing out. Just missing out on the top half of the league at number 17.
This is a team I'm going to catch a lot of flack for. The Washington Commanders.
Okay, you're catching flack how? Too high?
Too high.
Yeah.
Where did you have them?
19. I had them a couple of spots lower than this. It wasn't a great discrepancy. We both believe in Sam Howell. It's Sam Howell time, and like I said yesterday when we were talking about Sam Howell, you better hope this works. We think it's going to work. We think it could work.
And I'm going to keep telling you, you're undervaluing how, I'm not going to say obvious. There are certain guys, specifically at quarterback, that you can see on the day-to-day and go, yeah, that's going to be good. Mm-hmm. That's going to be real good.
Mm-hmm.
You never know quite how good. Any of those New England people that say, well, we knew it with Tom. As soon as Drew went down, we knew we were going to be just fine. You had absolutely no clue that was going to end the way it did. But you knew he was good.
Yeah.
You could see it in practice. You could see the way he carried himself. I cannot emphasize enough with people that I know in this league how many people around Washington really want you to know you boo-booed, and now we're going to make you pay. We have a quarterback for the next 10 years. Everybody said, oh, well, they're in on Hendon Hooker. No, they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
I said it the entire draft process.
And that's all well and good. But that's assuming that front offices don't make mistakes and that they don't look at a guy
It's
and
not
go,
really the front office. It's really not the front office. It's the coaching staff going, trust me. You got to understand, Ron Rivera is basically hedging his job on this. Because if Washington comes out and goes 6-11, he's elementally fired. New ownership group, probably leads to a new front office, fired. And at his age, this is probably the end.
Yep.
He's hedging all of that on Sam Howell. That should tell you a lot. A lot.
It doesn't, though. It does not give me warm and fuzzy feelings inside. Look, I agree with him, again, but it does not give me warm and fuzzy feelings that Ron Rivera is all in on, a dart throw quarterback, which is what a lot of people see this as. Oh, you picked him up in the 5th round. You think he's special. Again, I disagree with those people, but you better hope it works, because if it doesn't, you're not improving. You're going to be right where you were. Defense, defense can improve, great.
The defense
but
is going to be good.
If you can't score points, we've thought that for 4 years.
No, they're never healthy. So, I mean,
Exactly.
that was the comma that was coming. The defense is going to be good if they're healthy.
Yes.
And I think they got an absolute steal.
See, I look at the defense and I go, front 4, killer. And then?
So you're out on Fuller and Forbes.
I don't know what Forbes is going to be.
Ball hawk. I'll tell you exactly who's going to
be. And Fuller's good, but he's not a star to me.
He's the 2. I think Forbes is the 1 off the jump.
Maybe so.
Oh, he's too thin. Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard that before. Actually, I heard that about Darius Slay for a long time. Weird. Now that's the guy that everybody tries to convince me is top 5 in this league.
I look at the Washington Commanders and I go, I don't like your pieces. I mean, everybody knows how much I love the running back, or the backup running back. But
he's going to be playing in the XFL before you just tap out and go, he's not very good.
I will never say that.
Yeah.
I will never say that.
Hold on. I got to modify one of my favorite phrases. He really needs to learn to hold on to the damn ball.
He does. He does have issues with that. But, there are some tried and trues in life. Death, taxes, and Memphis running backs.
I feel like Antonio Gibson at this point he's like a beautiful car. I watched a movie last night with Vince Vaughn and Kevin James, and they were creating some electric car. I was only partially paying attention.
Ah, yes. Classic.
The Dilemma, is that what the
thing
Dilemma?
Is called?
Yeah. It made me really hate Winona Ryder.
As you should.
And I don't...
Because how can you cheat on him?
I don't.
Just watch that movie and go, oh, he's awesome. How can you cheat on that guy?
2 celebrities that I've always been told that people, they think of me when they see them. Kevin James, Vince Vaughn. In the same movie.
Vince Vaughn?
I have a lot of the same sense of humor that Vince Vaughn does.
I was going to say.
Yeah, no, it's not looks.
Nothing
No, it's not looks. No, the looks would be Jason Segel from How I Met Your Mother. I got that a lot when my hair was shorter.
If he ate another Jason Segel.
He outweighs me, secret time.
Does he really?
He's an inch taller than me. Jason Segel is a big dude. Yeah.
Anyhow.
Either who. I just look at Antonio Gibson like, you're this beautiful car that we worked all this time, and the engine is great, and at top speed, it's awesome. Oh, yeah, but we forgot the piece that holds the tires on.
Right.
So every time you get it into second gear, all 4 tires go out.
mean, not
you just
every
go full
time.
Fred Flintstone.
Not every time. It's more like a ARCA series pit crew. Sometimes you forget the lug nut, okay? And
I like how
bad
you went
things
ARCA
happen.
there. You've been watching a lot of ARCA.
Well, NASCAR's really. I wasn't going to throw shade at NASCAR guys because I know it happens to the big guys, but I'm pretty sure it happens in ARCA way more than it does even at the Xfinity level. Sorry.
Intrigued me that's where you went.
Yeah. Anyhow. The Commanders, to me, are a great big question mark, and I don't know what to expect.
And they're one that I'm going out on a little bit of a I'm going out on a little bit of a ledge. No smiles, still harping on the Mac Jones thing. What has Howell done? He was an exponentially better prospect than Mac Jones was. To me. Take it for what it's worth. I've seen the limitations of Mac Jones. Sam Howell is a lot like a lottery ticket. We covered him for 3 years here, so we know this kid really well. And I just look at it and go, if this is right, and this is one of those times I might be getting duped, and it happens in the pre-draft process a lot of people are so dogmatic about something that they convince you of it because of how convinced they are. And this is one that I could be full Antonio Gibson, just going Fred Flintstone, scooting on my butt with my steering wheel in my hand. But I'm telling you right now, if I'm going to take a shot on somebody, A, it's going to be in the NFC. B, it's going to be somebody that I don't know exactly what their quarterback is.
Yep.
But I like the upside. And that's Washington. There is a ton of upside with Washington.
I will agree on that point. Top half of the league, we'll start it coming up next. Take a quick break, and then we'll get into the 16th best team in the NFL after last week's draft here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
In Leicester, near Lawson Ridge, New Leicester Highway near Sherry Lane, an accident has the road closed in both directions. 26 westbound is slow west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Avery Creek Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road near Sand Hill Road delays. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Light delays Hendersonville Road southbound between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the it's, KBB.com.
Carrie, is this schedule the most updated?
There's a wedding season rush at Dr. Iona's dental practice.
We're fully booked this week. We can try and squeeze you in next Tuesday.
She needs a dental hygienist to unveil fresh smiles.
How long has 3 been under the UV light?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
Rover's Morning Glory.
It's The Woody Show.
It's Elliot in the Morning.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
All of the best free curated playlists.
It's everything that rocks.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
This is Freddie Prinze Jr. from the Wrestling with Freddie podcast.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on a Power Rankings Tuesday. Yeah, it's the offseason, but it's a week removed from the NFL draft. We got all the major moves in the offseason. Anything that's going to move the needle for a team has already been done. There's nothing left coming out there that's going to change your opinion on one team or the other. So it's time to continue with the power rankings. Here we're in the top half of the league. Number 16.
The New York Football Giants.
Yeah, Daniel Jones got paid. And I don't like bad quarterbacks after they get paid.
I don't either. I believe in Brian Daboll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still looking. First of all, they have more receivers than any team I've ever seen.
They do, but are any of them good?
That's the problem. Is I don't know that any of them be's good at football.
Right now, where does Jalen Hyatt rank amongst their wide receivers?
Oh, he's got to be a solid 8. I mean, they have 100, so it's
really
8 is pretty good when you're going in at 22 deep, which is what I think they have.
I think he's 1.
I think
he's already the best wide receiver that they have.
The New York Giants are like my dating record before I met Amy. It's a whole slew of 3s. Okay, you got a bunch of dudes. Sterling Shepard.
I hope it wasn't a bunch of dudes. I mean, if it was, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're 6
years old. There's nothing wrong with that.
I have to remind myself of that sometimes.
I am.
The thing about the Giants is I just don't know who the go-to weapon's going to be. I mean, Darren Waller.
It's Saquon Barkley.
Oh, it's Darren Waller. If he's healthy. And you go down the list of all their weapons, and virtually all of them have a health risk. And then you get into Daniel Jones, and now he's gotten paid. And we know the history of quarterbacks that have never hit certain benchmarks getting paid. It does not tend to go well. I don't know why I'm so down on the Giants, because I do love Brian Daboll, and I love Wink Martindale. I'm really down on the Giants, and I'm really up on the Washington Commanders, and I don't know why.
I don't really
understand. I think it's because I know what one is, and I'm not 100% sure what the other one is.
So you know what the Giants are?
I know exactly what the Giants are.
The ceiling of what you think Washington can be is
exponentially
higher? Okay.
I mean, now look, I still have the Giants in front of them because they're much safer. I mean, is there a possibility that Sam Howell is just awful?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it's much of one. But is there any path that Daniel Jones is great?
No.
I don't see it. Is there a path that your defense is great?
Yes.
I don't see that.
I think it is. I think that. I mean, I don't know about in this year.
And so that's my problem.
Eventually, yes, I think this defense can be great. In fact, I mean, one of my notes about this team is my best draft pick for them was Deonte Banks. I felt like that was the one because you added a corner who has a lot of upside, and I feel like your entire defense is sort of a sky is the limit kind of a defense.
Okay, so the Giants, I feel like, took a step in line. They jumped a year ahead, and now I think the expectations have gotten so high that they're almost invariably going to let you down. That's the best way I can explain the Giants.
All right, to me, they are Melba Toast.
Their high side is the 6th seed in the NFC, fact or fiction?
Yes.
There you go.
But I think their floor is the 7 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Yeah,
they're Melba Toast. They're not going to let you down. They'll win some games they're not supposed to. They could make things interesting at the end of the season, but they're not going to be a division winner, and they might win a game in the playoffs.
And say I don't see a path that they win the game in the playoffs.
Maybe.
That's the reason that, for me, I actually started the rankings with the Giants and the Commanders at 16 and 17. And I worked it the other way out, that's the first time I've ever done that.
Interesting. I also find it very interesting that we were 2 spots off on both of them. We both had them ranked exactly the same. Washington, and then the Giants just slightly ahead of them. At number 15.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. You don't want them to be this high.
I don't.
They are. They flat out are, and I'm not sure I don't have them too low.
I exactly had them at 15 as well in my power rankings. They had a killer draft. They killed every pick that they had. It filled some sort of a need or added some kind of a new wrinkle to this team that you go, that's going to make them better.
Biggest 2 problems I had, like offensive line and health. Yep. There's no way for me to know what your health's going to look like, but your offensive line is way better.
Yeah, when you added Broderick Jones in the draft and Isaac Seumalo in the free agency.
Way better.
Yes.
And now I think you're going to be able to run, which is going to make Kenny Pickett better. I like the weapons. You add Allen Robinson, and the defense was always good, and now you actually have a legitimate corner in the building, which you did not have last year.
Exactly.
I wish they played in any other division because I absolutely hate the fact that they're the lowest rated team in the AFC North. But I can't see it any other way.
Right. Number 14. It's the Detroit Lions. This is too low for me.
I get it. You have the power rankings in front of you. Who in the world am I supposed to have below them? At the end of the day, it's still Jared Goff with no weapons for 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's unsettling to me.
You say no weapons. He's missing the wide receiver that he was missing all of last year.
Yeah, and he has no DJ Chark.
No, there's no DJ
Now it's
Chark.
a lot of Josh Reynolds. There's no TJ Hawkinson.
You keep discounting Marvin Jones. The guy is...
Marvin Jones is 84 years old.
I don't care.
Marvin
He's still
Jones is
good.
Marvin Jones is the only player in the NFL that's actually cashing a Social Security check and an NFL check at the same time. I do not care about Marvin Jones.
You should.
Somehow in Jacksonville, he was irrelevant. Guess what? In Detroit, he...
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's really not I'm down on the Lions. I think they're going to win that division in a walk. The problem is that then you get into the playoffs, and who do I think you're going to beat? All right, let's say you're the 2 seed in the NFC somehow. That means you're going to catch that Giants team we were just talking about, or the Commanders, or the Vikings, or one of those AFC South team or NFC South teams that doesn't win the division.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know definitively that you're going to beat them. This team has all the makings to be really, really good. And I could be too low. I just don't know who I'm supposed to put below them. And when you see who I've got at 13, it kind of makes that abundantly clear.
At number 13.
The Baltimore Ravens.
You're too low on them, too.
Here's the thing. I can't be too low on everybody, okay? They're grading on a curve. Everybody can't get a B. Somebody's got to get a C, and somebody's got to fail.
Mm-hmm.
There are a bunch of really good teams in this league. Baltimore's one of them.
Yep.
Your defense makes me a little bit nervous right now because I'm not seeing the star-studded Calais Campbell, Marcus Peters, and I feel like you've replaced every one of them on wish of, well, yeah, if you put a Marcus Peters jersey on Rock Ya-Sin, then I guess I could be convinced that they're both NFL players.
Mm-hmm.
But then I watch them play and I go, oh, no. No, there's a real big difference between one and the other. And so you get to a point where you go, do I think Baltimore is the second best team in the division? No, I don't. I don't. There are 2 teams in that division I like better than them.
I agree.
And I'm not sure I don't like Pittsburgh better. It's just I'm looking at the accumulation of talent, and now Lamar's got receivers. I can't have them any lower.
To me, that's the thing that gets it. To me, it is Lamar is taken care of. We can't say happy or what. We don't know, but he's taken care of. Long-term contract sewed up. He now goes into this season with Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham Jr., and Rashad Bateman. Far and away the best weapons he's had.
No doubt.
Since he's been there.
It's also the worst defense he's ever had.
J.K. Dobbins healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a full season out of you? Can you be the guy that I've been expecting you to be for 2 years? Because when you got the ball in your hands, you're damn good.
This is the thing that bothers me. It's the worst defense he's had in his entire career in the best that division's ever been, and it's not close. That's why I couldn't have him any higher. Mm-hmm. Could I be wrong? Absolutely.
It's the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville Sports Center Update. Coming up next, and then we will continue with the top 12 post-NFL draft power rankings. We'll be right back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
A couple of sprinkles possible coming in from the northwest. Some lower humidity comes in tomorrow. We're in the mid-50s for tonight. A little cold front sinks through Wednesday with some sunshine, slightly cooler, 76 tomorrow. Low 50s tomorrow night in the valley, 40s with elevation. And the 70s and 80s return Thursday, Friday. And the chance for rain is back coming up this weekend here in Asheville. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
In Leicester, near Lawson Ridge, New Leicester Highway near Sherry Lane, an accident has the road closed in both directions. 26 westbound is slow west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. near Inca Village. Sardis Road near Sand Hill Road, delays. Sweeten Creek Road, southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Light delays. Hendersonville Road, southbound between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Biggie Bag. When you think Wendy's Biggie Bag, think your go-to meal deal with your choice of JBC, double stack or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. Biggie hits every time. So grab a Biggie Bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. The NBA playoffs continue tonight. Couple of Game 5s on the schedule. Philadelphia at Boston. Series is tied at 2, and the Sixers, of course, have league MVP Joel Embiid. But ESPN's Stephen A. Smith says Philly needs to make up for sending Jimmy Butler away to Miami in 2019, or else they will rue the day.
The 76ers would have been back in the finals, and they probably would win the title if Jimmy Buckets had stayed there with Joel Embiid. That's how important Jimmy Buckets is.
That is Stephen A. Smith on First Take earlier on ESPN. Also tonight, Game 5 for the Suns and the Nuggets. That series tied at 2. Phoenix without Chris Paul for a third straight game as he deals with a groin injury. In baseball, the Mets have scratched Max Scherzer from his start against the Reds tonight due to neck spasms. Aaron Judge coming off the IL for the Yankees. He'll be in the lineup against the A's. The Braves put Max Fried on the 15-day DL with a strained left forearm.
Coming up Wednesday, as the Warriors face elimination, I'll tell you what I need to see from them if they want to extend this series to at least a Game 6. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. You can hear it everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Listen to the Sportsocracy live in the Ingles Studio everywhere you go. But you can also watch us on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. That is a prerequisite for getting into the comment section. You have to subscribe to the channel. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday, and we've got the top 12 in the NFL post-NFL draft.
We've also got our first Super Chat of the day. Well,
I'm your huckleberry.
There it is.
A little delay. It's from Curtis Davis. It said a torture ticket for Jeremy should be that his hair has to be done like Scott Matlock did for the NFL draft for a week or two while banned from headwear.
Yes, and I'm fully here for it. Scott Matt, so I had to look it up. I just Googled Scott Matlock NFL draft, couldn't find it, had to go to his local TV station where he got drafted out of Boise State. I'm trying to think of, like, do you remember the Barbarian in WWE?
Nope.
You don't remember him? Really? So his hair is kind of carved, and he's got the red mullet, but it's in cornrows, and it's all kind of, just contoured and like streaks shaven into the head. It's pretty impressive. I feel like your guy Seth could do that.
Seth can do anything.
Yeah.
Seth's moving though.
Oh, is he?
He is. And now I have to find someone new to cut my hair. And I'm not gonna lie, that gives me great like agita. That like I've had 3 people in my entire life cut my hair. So okay, and one of them is RIP. So and the other is to me. Don't date your hairdresser. Horrible idea. It's a horrible idea. Don't trust anybody that close to your face with scissors and blades.
All right, Power Rankings continue here in the Sportsocracy on a Power Rankings Tuesday afternoon. Top 12 in the NFL. Number 12.
The Miami Dolphins. Let me guess, you think this is too low?
Oh, it's too high.
It's too high?
It's too high. It's too damn high.
All right. I don't say this very often, but I'm going to turn I'm going to turn it over to you to explain what you just said.
My major concern is obviously Tua.
That's the only reason they're this low.
Tua's health is the major concern, and that's why I had them ranked lower on mine. Now I don't have them at like 20 or something. I mean, this team is incredible. If
the
Tua
offense
is fully
is going
healthy,
to be evil.
Right? If Tua is fully healthy, and now that they've added Devin Achane into the running back room, I feel like that's going to be a piece because eventually, 2 days into the season, Jeff Wilson Jr. and Raheem Mostert are both going to be hurt. So it's going to be it's going to be the Achane show.
I just look at Miami and go, man, if you were in any other division in football, this is the worst place to have a question mark at quarterback. Now, if he plays 17 games, this is too low.
They added Jalen Ramsey.
I can't assume that, though.
They added Jalen Ramsey, which is an upgrade to Byron Jones, who apparently can't walk these days, which is sad.
It sounds that way, yes.
It's very sad. He issued the warning to all of the incoming draft prospects back in February of today. I can't walk today because of injuries throughout my career. So I'm guessing his career is over after he's been released by the Miami Dolphins. So Jalen Ramsey is an upgrade to me, but I don't know. You're still the Miami Dolphins, and I know Dolphins fans aren't going to like hearing me say that. But in the end, to me, it's true. You find a way every year to be right in this scenario of, hey, we're going to make the playoffs, and then nothing. That's why I have them at 14. They're the last playoff team, and they're the first one to exit.
If it wasn't for Tua, I would have them higher.
I would as well. If you had a legitimate,
and I'm not going to lie, it was a
quarterback.
cop-out. I'm not going to lie. I wanted all three AFC East teams in the top 8. I just could not figure out a way to do it.
No. That would have been insane.
Is it, though?
Yes. Yes, I do. I mean, in the offseason, they added David Long. That was one of your signings of the offseason.
Absolutely.
This is great, but he's inside
I think
linebacker.
the defense is going to be the defense will be better. The weapons are terrifying. If you can keep Tua upright, this is too low.
Can you get after the quarterback? That's my question.
So. I don't think you'll be able to do it as consistently as the two teams in your division, which is another reason that you wound up here.
Is Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb enough? Do you have enough
with an
depth
off
behind
season?
them?
It's going to look pretty good.
Okay, and maybe it could. Like I said, they were 14 on my power ranking, so having them at 12 is not out of the ordinary. But I did not have them ahead of the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I do.
At number 11.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is another one. Tad too high for me. I had them behind the Detroit Lions.
Jacksonville to me didn't really have to do anything. A year of that team, a year of experience for that team was huge to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't love what they did in the draft. I don't love that you've been virtually non-existent in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
That's what bumped you down a little bit because I think we had them at 8 in the last one of the year.
Possibly. Let me check.
And now I'm
9. We had them at 9.
And now I'm just looking at Jacksonville going, I feel like a couple teams passed you. Not because you didn't do anything. I do think having Calvin Ridley is going to be a big deal. I think the offense will be really good, but I'm going to need to see the defense before I can say you're better than any of the teams in my top 10.
And that's what did it for me. I believe in Detroit's defense and the pieces that they've added more than I do Jacksonville's.
Detroit's defense is so young.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I could not stop staring at.
So is Jacksonville.
I agree. That's why they're at 11.
Yeah. And kind of right beside each other, couldn't separate the two. Detroit and Jacksonville, these are the two teams that go, oh, they suck every year. We can just chalk that up. Well, not anymore, folks. Now we get to decide which one's better. And number 10.
The Cleveland Browns. 2 words. Jim Schwartz.
Yep.
That defense has all the pieces you could possibly need. That defense could be terrifying.
It very well could be.
And I think having is there a team in the NFL that's had a quieter offseason than Cleveland? Just, you hear nothing. You got the Elijah Moore deal.
No, and that's exactly what I wanted.
Exactly.
With all of the noise of the Deshaun Watson trade and how long is he going to be suspended and blah, 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 I want a quiet offseason. I want a quiet offseason where we go in and Andrew Berry gets to be Mr. Genius. And he gets to go, ooh, what holes do I have on my defense? And he looks at it and he goes, ooh, I can't really stop the run all that well, so Dalvin Tomlinson, Siaki Ika. Let's go. And then he looks at the pass rush and he goes, I need a young guy and I don't really – ooh, I can get a guy from the Texans and go with Obonya Okoronkwo, who I believe is an up-and-coming, budding star pass rusher.
And you put him on the other side of Myles Garrett. I'm telling you right now, people ask, oh, why do you use that name so much? Don't believe me, just watch.
Yeah, just wait. And then in the secondary, you added Juan Thornhill, who is a good veteran
Huge upgrade to me. And I've said this, and I'll continue to say it. I think Elijah Moore would have been the number 1 receiver in this draft class. And you got him for the cost of trading down 20 spots.
Yep.
It was brilliant.
4th-round pick, something like that.
From the 2nd to the 3rd. Yeah. It was brilliant. I think Cleveland has absolutely crushed this offseason. That is the team I am the most invested in the futures market because their win total, I want to say, is at 7.5. It's either 7.5 or 8.5. And I am aggressively overweight on both. Either way, I don't care which number it is. If it's 7.5, which is what I think it is, then all in.
Cleveland Browns were in my top 10.
They were at 10 for me because I still am not. It's a lot of change there too. And Jim Schwartz is a good coordinator. I think it was addition by subtraction, just switching that out because the defense was so disjointed last year. So really, you could have hired anybody with an IQ above salad dressing, and I would probably have given you the benefit of the doubt. The fact that Schwartz is a vet guy in this league, and just don't ever think yourself. Just get after the quarterback. You got good linebackers. You got a good back half. And at the end of the day, they're one of the only teams in the NFL that can just bleed you like a catfish running the ball. And I think you're going to see top 6 quarterback Deshaun Watson this year.
Cleveland was my 9. Baltimore was my 10.
And I'm not going to lie, as I'm looking at this, you could convince me to flip these two. I'm not going to.
No, I still believe Cleveland's ahead. But let's do that thing that we love to do in the AFC North. Let's settle it on the field. These rivalry games were great when these teams weren't great. Now you've got 3.
I think you got 4 that are all really good.
You got 4. Yeah, you got
lowest rated team in that division for me is 15. The AFC North is going to be a bloodbath. That's one of the reasons that all of these teams, I think, are a little low for me. You have to play each other. And Stephen Tao has said that I still haven't heard a team better than the Ravens. You could very well be right. You're also the team that has been absolutely killed 4 years in a row. And now you're going into the Thunderdome.
Yep.
That factored in too.
Number 9.
The Seattle Seahawks. I can physically not believe I have this team this high.
I can't either.
Do you have them drastically lower?
Not drastically. They were on 13. Only because I don't know that Geno can do it again. Can Geno have the most efficient season ever 2.0? I don't know that he can, but adding Jackson Smith and Jigba in the draft makes me think that it's more possible.
I said going in, I didn't love Jackson Smith and Jigba, but man, I'd love him in Seattle.
You have a 3-headed monster now in your wide receiver core.
And then I look at their schedule, and it's just there are a lot of wins.
You got Jamal Adams coming back from injury. You got
to me that changes a lot. Because now you've got corners that can hold up, so you can. And I know people are, but Tariq Woolen wasn't Tariq Woolen when Jamal Adams went down. Now you're getting that guy that is to me, he's a one-ish. Don't at me. I will analytic you to death. Tariq Woolen has a whole mess of Trayvon Diggs in him. But he's still very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And you look around, and now you've got Devin Witherspoon. So now you've really got a 1A and a 1B. And I've got the ultimate move piece in Jamal Adams because he is the best blitzing safety of all time.
Yes.
That's not a fact, or that's not an opinion. That is a fact.
Agreed. Oh, and by the way, you brought Bobby Wagner back from obscurity, which he wasn't obscure. I was just saying you shuffled him out.
You saved him from the depths of what is happening to the Los Angeles Rams.
Right. But Bobby's back, and everything's all good and hunky-dunky, and now he's going to be your vet leader again, and I like this team. I just don't know if Geno can do it again.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't see how he doesn't. I mean, you go back and watch the tape on Seattle last year, and I don't see anything that's non-replicable. The offense was brilliantly simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
I've just got dudes that one-on-one can beat you, and I'm going to run the ball. The offensive line was vastly improved, and I think it will be vastly improved again next year. And I look at everything Seattle's done, and I can't have them any lower.
Yep.
And then you mix in how bad the other two teams in this division are. To me, that's four layup wins for Seattle and San Francisco. And I just go down the rest of it and go, yeah, there's some Philadelphia there. But there's also a lot of Washington, who, yes, I like, but I don't like them like I like you.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants, I like them too. I don't like them like I like you. And I just found myself going down the schedule going, my gracious, they're going to win 10 games for showing up and having their jerseys facing the right direction. So I really like this team. And to me, I think we got to give the love to Divine and Jonathan Welch, our two Seahawk fans, and Eric Miller that basically said this all year last year.
Mm-hmm.
They're better than you think. The further you dig into it, they're right. I know it sounds weird with one of the great busts of all time, Geno Smith. He's not that guy anymore.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. We're into the top 8 of the post-NFL draft power rankings. And
there's an argument coming.
We're going to fight when we come back from the break.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway in Leicester. New Leicester Highway north and southbound at Sherry Lane, an accident. Lanes are blocked. Expect delays. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound, slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Bavard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing. Or this one. I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Get your mom an insanely clean home from the cleaning pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Mom!
M-O-M. 3 little letters that hold so much power, importance, and love. At Ingles, we know that being a mom is its own reward, but it's also the toughest job anyone can take on. So to all the moms out there who save the day, on a daily basis, for kids big and small, we at Ingles got your back. Happy Mother's Day, moms. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
For the record, it's called a bro.
A man's ear.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, a Power Rankings Tuesday, into the top 8.
It's the third time I've made a Seinfeld reference today. It's a good day.
Post-
Even though one of them wasn't actually Seinfeld.
Post-NFL Power Rankings, Jeremy's number 8. I got to say Jeremy's number 8 team. Because it's criminal.
It's fine.
It's criminal.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Number 8.
Do it. You're the one upset
It's the
about it.
San Francisco 49ers.
Sure is. Yeah, it sure is.
You're crazy. You're drunk.
Okay, explain it to me. Oh, the defense is great. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Okay.
Your quarterback is Brock Purdy.
And I don't even kind of care.
Yeah, you should. You very much
you should,
should.
because that team with Brock Purdy last year was terrible.
That team with Brock Purdy beat a bunch of nobodies. Minus one win over the Seahawks, you didn't beat anybody. And you remember earlier in the season when I said the NFL figured something out? Yeah, they figured Brock Purdy out. And you know how I know that? Because I did. Watching San Francisco, it is abundantly clear his physical limitations. And if I had $1 for every flash in the pan backup quarterback, Scott Mitchell, that as soon as you got 5 minutes of tape on, it was real obvious that they were not nearly as good as you let on, I'd be a millionaire. And this is going to be another one. You mark my words that I said this. Brock Purdy, I would say he's a good NFL backup. If you're getting duped into thinking that this kid is good enough, just humor me for a second. Hold on. Humor me here. The rest of the top 7, here are their quarterbacks. Dak Prescott's one, who is exponentially better than Brock Purdy, and I've already seen it in a playoff game. Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Hurts, Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. That's in no specific order. One of those things, not like the others.
Absolutely.
One of those things just doesn't belong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's Brock Purdy. I don't have any higher than that. You're not winning a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. You're not. Now, I don't think you're winning a Super Bowl with Trey Lance either. Didn't win one with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep.
So here's the thing that I can't physically wrap my brain around, because you've been objecting to this 49ers thing since I said it.
Yes.
Pick me the team in the top 7 they're better than. Because I'll go ahead and tell you, I will straight up tell you you're on drugs with 6 of them.
In your top 7?
In my top 7, you name me the team that San Francisco's better than.
Dallas Cowboys.
You're out of your mind. That's the only one I would have not said you were on drugs on.
Dallas Cowboys, Chargers, Jets, all of them.
Because they play defense really well?
Because they play defense really well, because that offensive scheme works, because they have Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon I mean, they have all of the weapons except for
Is Jimmy
a star
Garoppolo a better quarterback than Brock Purdy, yes or no?
Yeah.
It's yes. It's not even close. The fact you had to think about that bothers me. So now you're telling me with an inferior quarterback and almost a mirror image roster that just keeps losing things, you think this is just going to keep happening, but nobody can tell me why. It's not like I put them in the teens.
Mm-hmm.
Can the 49ers win a Super Bowl?
Maybe.
Then they ain't my top 7.
Maybe.
Because the other 7 teams I have here, they can win a Super Bowl.
Definitively.
Okay. I have 7 legit Super Bowl contenders.
I have 3.
That is why San Francisco is at 8.
I have 3. I have 3 teams that can win a Super Bowl this year, and that's it. After that, it's a mishmash of these teams are really good. Outside shot, and health plays a factor. Could they win a Super Bowl? Yeah, maybe.
And I'm not telling you San Francisco's not good. I'm telling you I saw some limitations in San Francisco tape. I think Philadelphia saw the same thing. There is, to me, I believe there is a great myth that Brock Purdy is the reason Philadelphia pounded their heads in the ground in the NFC Championship game. I'm going to be as honest as I can. I don't think it mattered.
Yeah,
After I went back and watched it, I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, and I'd fully disagree. That would have been a closer. Would they have still won? Sure. Would they have won by double digits?
It was 31-7.
They
what would
would
the final score have been?
Yeah. The final score would have been 31-21. It'd have been close-ish.
All right, so 10 points in the NFC Championship game that's pretty well getting blown out. This was never really in doubt.
Sure.
Okay, so then what exactly about it is that I'm supposed to feel warm and fuzzy about? They've always been good on defense. Always. Even the year that they went 5-11 when Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, they were still good defensively.
I don't know. And I get we're arguing apples and oranges here because one of these teams is obviously in contention to be a top 8, top 5 team. The other one is not. But it baffles me how you've seen Brock Purdy play in this league.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen him be good.
I've seen him beat bad teams. I have physically witnessed him beat bad teams.
Okay.
I saw them beat the Dallas Cowboys in a playoff game where he did absolutely
But there's
nothing
in you that trusts Kyle Shanahan.
Why
Like you
should I
do
trust
Ron
Kyle
Rivera.
Why should I trust Kyle
That's the thing
Shanahan?
I don't understand. To me, it's the Washington Commanders and the San Francisco 49ers here.
Okay,
Like
one of them's at 16.
you're blindly saying,
One's at six.
I trust Ron Rivera to know that he has the guy.
To get them to 16. Yeah, there's a big old difference between.
I get it. But the principle's still the same. If you believe in the coach and you believe that they know the guy they have, well, if San Francisco's telling you we have the guy,
what alternative did they have? What was the alternative?
Washington?
No, San Francisco. Oh, and by the way, they went and got a 5-year starter to sit behind him.
Mm-hmm.
That screams, I don't trust you to me. You have a guy that you traded up to 3 that you have broken in 2 years to the point that nobody in the NFL would give you a 3rd-round pick for him. Because that's what I've been told they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So no team in the NFL would give you a 3rd-round pick for a quarterback that you took 2 years ago at 3, giving up unbelievable bounty of picks. You broke him in very limited. Other than Josh Rosen, I have never seen the temperature on a quarterback change that fast, ever. And now, because your fan base is clamoring for this tiny little unathletic quarterback, you think that means they have the guy. The first signing they had in free agency was Sam Darnold. That screams to me, either you don't think he's going to be healthy,
which is a great possibility,
and that's
he just had UCL surgery.
That's baked into this.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's a little part of you going, I don't really know what it is that I have here. Am I telling you he can't make the playoffs? No, they're the 8th best team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, when you give me Brock Purdy against Justin Herbert, yeah, there's a big difference there.
Sure.
At the most important position in football. And we're blindly trusting Kyle Shanahan, who, oh, by the way, has piddled in your punch bowl every time you've ever trusted him. All the way back to Washington. Yeah, he's really creative. And every time he gets into a big spot, he duties in his pants. And you know what? I'm tired of counting on it. So, yeah, I'm looking at 7 teams, one of which I just think has a better top-to-bottom roster with a limited quarterback. The other 6 have elite top 6 in the NFL quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference there to me. And there always will be.
Fair enough. Still think you're too low on San Francisco. Trust the system.
And you've now said that about 6 teams, and yet you keep not telling me to. And you say the Jets. Okay, one of them has a Hall of Fame quarterback with a defense that statistically is every bit as good.
Mm-hmm.
Who has better corners, Jets or the 49ers? It's the Jets, and it's not close. Who has better pass rush? You see how you did that? Okay. Is it by a lot?
No.
So defense on the whole, you're going to say they're at the very least they're close to each other.
Ballpark.
Okay, you get Brock Purdy, I get Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me again they're better than the Jets. And by the way, their line sucks. And that's as nicely as I can say it. It is Trent Williams and 4 dudes. And if you don't believe me, go back and see how they graded last year.
Is that a lot different than New York?
The Jets have 3 first-round picks on their line.
Well, so did the Atlanta Falcons, but their line was terrible for 10 years.
Okay. Statistically, it doesn't say that.
Okay.
Look, line play, I can't just sit here and say, well, when I watch them with my eyeballs. No. All right, let me give you the Jets have 4 guys that would start over every other lineman for the San Francisco 49ers.
Not named Trent Williams.
Right. So, yeah, you got one. I don't like what you did in the draft. You took a kicker too high. Your hubris is showing, and I think you're going to get kicked right in the midsection by this Brock Purdy thing.
All right, we'll see. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Number 7 in the post-NFL draft power rankings is next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Couple of sprinkles possible coming in from the northwest. Some lower humidity comes in tomorrow. We're in the mid-50s for tonight. Little cold front sinks through Wednesday with some sunshine, slightly cooler, 76 tomorrow. Low 50s tomorrow night in the valley, 40s with elevation. And 70s and 80s return Thursday, Friday. And the chance for rain is back coming up this weekend here in Asheville. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway in Leicester. New Leicester Highway north and southbound at Sherry Lane, an accident. Lanes are blocked. Expect delays. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound, slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Again, Bavard Road northbound slow between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near the NC Arboretum. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Summit Racing. Summit Racing has the parts and accessories to get your ride summer road trip ready. With millions of parts from the best brands in stock, you'll find exactly what you need to hit the highway or take the road less traveled. SummitRacing.com. Everything you need for anything you drive.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
Hey y'all, this is Måneskin.
Hey, what's up? This is Fall Out Boy.
What's up? This is Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
It's iHeartRadio. The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, live in the Ingles Studio for a Power Rankings Tuesday. Post-NFL draft Power Rankings here.
To put a pin in that 49ers thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what Kyle Shanahan, he's been the coach of the 49ers this will be his 7th year.
Okay.
He's had 3 years where Jimmy Garoppolo was his leading passer. He's had 3 where he wasn't.
Okay.
Do you know what his record is in the 3 years that Garoppolo wasn't the leading passer?
That's not good.
6-10, 4-12, 6-10. Kyle Shanahan, ladies and gentlemen. Kyle Shanahan.
Just CJ beat hard Nick Mullins. I get it.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Brock Purdy goes in that group way better than he goes in the group that I said.
in the elite of the elite in the NFL? No kidding.
Yeah, he fits in that elite tier the way I would fit in a dress.
San Francisco 49ers were number 8. At number 7,
the Dallas Cowboys. And look, if you want to have San Francisco over Dallas, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with you. I don't in any way agree with you. But I get it. Dallas' schedule is evil because the NFC East plays the AFC East. It's not going to be great, but I'm looking at that defense. Man, you had 2 big problems coming out of last year. You fixed them both. And you fixed them with Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore. That's pretty formidable to me. And I'm not going to lie, going back watching that San Francisco game last year, I'm not sure they're not better. I'm not sure they weren't better last year.
The thing I'm most interested about the Dallas Cowboys this year is not how is Dak Prescott going to perform with CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks as his 1 and 2. I feel like that takes care of itself.
Mm-hmm. It's all on Mike McCarthy.
It's all on Mike McCarthy and the play calling, and we know Mike McCarthy loves to
run the damn ball.
Yeah. And who is their star running back now?
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard, who's never had a full load. Look,
I think he can.
I think he can as well, but it's, again, one of those things I don't know that he can take on the load and stay healthy, and I think he can do it, but I've just never seen it. And I didn't like Mike McCarthy as a play caller in Green Bay.
McCarthy makes me nervous. I can't tell
you.
He
had
Aaron
Rodgers, and he won one.
And I'm not second. I agree with everything you just said. I am stuck on the playoff game where I've now watched that twice in the offseason. I've walked away both times going, you know what? The Cowboys are better.
Mm-hmm.
They could not score when they had to. And that San Francisco defense stood up. But I walked away from that with 2 big qualms, and they fixed them both famously well.
That they did. Dallas Cowboys at number 7 were not far off. They were my 8. At number 6.
Speaking of teams that had one great big problem and fixed it famously, the New York Jets. Jets.
Yep.
Oh, it feels so good to have them here.
Yep.
It feels so good to have them here.
I can't deny it. But here you go. There are 2 words that are the mantra of the New York Jets franchise now. No excuses.
Correct.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any excuses of how we didn't get this done, because now you have the most complete team you've ever had.
Not close.
In franchise history, you've never had a team that has Hall of Fame quarterback, number 1-ish type defense, hell of a running game, and young weapons to work with.
Mm-hmm. combined, let's see, 4 quarterbacks last year.
Mm-hmm.
What was the Jets' completion percentage last year? It's almost hard to believe, if I'm being honest.
Is it like 59%?
You're too high. It's 57. For 4,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. That's what you're replacing.
That's a Cam Newton stat line.
That stat line makes Cam Newton look like Joe Montana. Okay, that's the part of this that none of you seem to be getting. Breece Hall last year, 5.8 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and now you have Michael Carter, got Israel Abanaconda, who is a sub 4.3 running back. You've added all these little guys that Aaron's comfortable with. Why? Because Robert Saleh is looking at this team now and going, we're splitting in half. The defense is mine.
Mm-hmm.
I got to deal with the defense, and the defense is going to be good. It's going to be real good. Nathaniel Hackett, Aaron Rodgers, we've turned it over to you. Could it blow up in our face? Sure. I don't really I can't for the life of me figure out what blowing up in your face looks like. I can't really wrap my head around that because you went 7-10 with what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, 4 of your biggest contributors on your defense were rookies. You don't think it's going to get better next year? Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm real well connected to this team. They love the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, there's a little report going around right now. Never been happier in his life. And it really shows. Because this is like the guy that gets out of the bad relationship. Not saying that the other spouse was bad. Not saying any of that. He's free. And now this is my chance to prove you wrong. I've seen Aaron Rodgers do this 2 times. Won an MVP both times.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to doubt this? You want to call me a homer? Have fun. Wish you the best of luck.
Are his targets comparable in New York to what he had in his 2 MVP years, most recent years in Green Bay?
I would say Garrett Wilson can be Devontae-like,
mm-hmm.
and they have more.
Agreed. Is his protection that he's going to get from his offensive line, is it much worse than what he had in Green Bay?
I can only tell you from what I have been told, Mekhi Becton looks better than he's ever looked. They're counting on Dwayne Brown, who is an older guy.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Turner is somebody that Aaron trusts. And if he has to play on the right side, so be it. And if Mekhi Becton and Dwayne Brown break, they are completely fine with Elijah Vera Tucker on the left side.
Mm-hmm.
That came from somebody in that building. So this is not me hypothesizing. That's not me just guessing. That's how they feel. So Jonathan Welch also said Al Woods and Quentin Jefferson. That's 2 guys on the middle nobody's talking about. A lot of people in New York are talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just looking at this team going, there's not a lot of deficiencies here.
No.
The schedule's evil. But seeing Aaron in the red jersey in Florham Park is doing a lot for a lot of people in New York. And there's a lot of team building. Did you see the picture of the Jet consortium at the Kentucky Derby?
I did not.
It was 11 deep.
Nice.
That should tell you everything you need to know about how Aaron's fitting in.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
Doesn't me either.
Doesn't surprise me at all because I knew once Aaron Rodgers left, it was going to be a brand new experience.
Because what do you do in breakups? You want to prove that you weren't the problem.
Mm-hmm. And
whether you were or not, that doesn't matter.
And you, for a little while, live a better life. You got a little bit of bigger chip on your shoulder. You're, walking lighter. The chains that have weighed you down for years have kind of come off. And now, as you said, you're free.
And so long as things don't go sideways.
Exactly.
So long as you don't come out and start. I mean, if you come out and start 4-4, okay. Now that media is going to become a problem.
Exactly.
If you start 6-1, the media is your best friend. Because here's the thing. This New York media is starved.
Although you got to keep it going because you almost started 6-1 last year, and the rest of the season did not go well after that. So
you weren't close to 6-1,
weren't you? You weren't. You were like 5-2.
5. You were 5-2.
Right. So you were close. That's only one game difference.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Maths.
That maths.
I had the Chargers at 6, so I can't really I can't really disagree with you here either. And then
the Jets at 6.
Who did I say?
The Los Angeles Chargers,
Ah,
which is our 5.
that is the 5. Chargers are at 5. Excuse me, I had the Chargers at 6. We had these 3 teams all in the same order. Chargers,
just
Jets,
got San
Cowboys.
Francisco in
We're
front
one
of all
spot
of them,
different,
which is hilarious to me. And I'll be honest with you, I had the Jets ahead of the Chargers before, and I had to audible it because at the end of the day, it's Justin Herbert with much more comfortable surroundings. It's a lot of guys that have been together for longer, and you have a level of improvement that I don't think the Jets do. Even if the most rose-colored glasses I could possibly be, I don't think the Jets' offense can get as much better from last year as the Chargers' defense can. It was a joke at times. Teams ran down their throats. If you so much as passively fix that, you're going to be exponentially better. And I feel like the addition of Kellen Moore is one of the biggest additions of the offseason. And it's one that people are not talking about enough. Because this is a big boy play caller that has big boy aspirations. Turned down head coaching jobs and a slew of other coordinator jobs to get right here. Why? Because he thinks he can put his mark on this. I will not be shocked. And I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say it on May the 9th. I will not be shocked if the 2023 NFL MVP is Justin Herbert. And I may have a sizable wager on it.
I don't hate that at all because I feel like Quentin Johnston, taking him in the draft, he became the third Hydra head here with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. You still only have Austin Eckler in the backfield, which is concerning to me because I have bought into the Jeremy Greene philosophy if you need the between the tackles guy. So it's a bit of a concern to me. But also the fact that Kellen Moore has taken over this offense. One of the things that Kellen Moore was bashed for in Dallas when he was calling plays there was that he threw too much. He relied on Dak Prescott to do too much with his arm. That's exactly what I want to happen in L.A. I want you to trust Justin Herbert more than you did Dak Prescott.
Also, don't be shocked if that between the tackles back is Ezekiel Elliott.
And if the team stays healthy, which is always, the big question mark, but if there isn't massive injuries on this team like there was last year, at least on the defense, and they can live up to the names on the backs of the jerseys, this team's damn near unstoppable.
The offense is terrifying, and the defense has the talent to be the same.
That brings us to the top 4. And at number 4,
nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
I love the pause there for dramatic effect. The Buffalo Bills.
That was really a pause of I can't remember what order I had these 4 in.
The Buffalo Bills and at number 4. All right, make your case.
With Von Miller, this defense was terrifying. You added Osiris Torrance. You added Dalton Kincaid. I love both of those things. And look, I'm being a realistic Jet fan. Do I think the Jets and the Bills are close? I do. Josh Allen's younger. Josh Allen's been in this system. This is a lot of familiarity. And I think we're really just we're doing a lot of banging on the Buffalo Bills for one game against a team that's better than they are.
One of the knocks against Buffalo last year was that they took a step back with Brian Daboll leaving and taking the New York Giants job and with Ken Dorsey taking over as the offensive coordinator, that they took a step back. But I don't hear anybody talking about Ken Dorsey can get better. It's almost like people have chalked up to the Bills thing is over because Ken Dorsey's not Brian Daboll. And that doesn't mean he can't get better.
And I think that's funny. I think if you sleep on the Buffalo Bills, you're doing it at your own peril.
I agree.
I also believe this team's going to run the ball better next year than it did last. Osiris Torrance, this will be That's the second of what will be at least 200 times I say that between this show and our fantasy football content over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Von Miller coming back. That defense was drastically different.
You had real problems with the interior of this offensive line keeping the pass rush off of Josh Allen's back. And you went and got Osiris Torrance in the draft, and you got Connor McGovern, which I feel like is a massive upgrade.
I don't know if it's a massive upgrade, but it's certainly an upgrade. And I just – Buffalo is the team that they've been here for so long, and they haven't crested the mountain that now everybody's just going, well, they're not good. They're the same old Buffalo Bills. and you're doing that at your own peril.
Mm-hmm.
This is still one of the 4 best teams in the league.
Also feel like their best pick of the draft wasn't even Dalton Kincaid. Could be Dorian Williams.
I will tell you from their mini camp, that is a name that got said a lot.
Just go look at the odds for defensive rookie of the year. Maybe.
Might be a guy you got in third round. Might be catching decent number.
Whole bunch of money. Yeah, exactly.
Might be a decent number.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. One segment to go, and we got 3 teams left. Who sits at the top of the NFL power rankings after the NFL draft? We'll bring it to you next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 on the eastbound side. Light delays between the French Broad River and Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound is slow between the 26-240 split Malfunction Junction area and Smoky Park Highway due to an accident. Near Inca Village, Sardis Road moving from Sandhill Road to Bavard Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound, stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Hendersonville Road southbound again, slow between Old Airport Road and Fanning Bridge Road near Fletcher. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer?
I'm Sam Mewis.
And I'm Lynn Williams.
And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks.
It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you.
You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
All right, no more delay. It's time for the top 3 of the post-NFL draft power rankings here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. At number 3,
the Philadelphia Eagles. I get it. You kept a lot of the band together.
Yep.
You lost a great deal, too.
Did you?
Soamalo, Javon Hargrave, TJ Edwards. You still lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You still lost players.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean you're not still going to be really, really, really good.
I feel like you replaced them pretty well.
You did fine. It's a lot of rookies.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I'm the draft guy and you're the one over-evaluating rookies.
I always do.
I know.
I always do.
I know, which is why I have to be the one to, okay, you're like a cat on the furniture. I got to, no. No.
Don't do this. Don't overreact to the rookies.
Look, the difference between 1, 2, and 3 is razor thin.
Yes.
This, for me, is really where I put them talent-wise. In terms of opportunity, Philadelphia's 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because I genuinely feel as long as you keep showing up to games, you're going to win the NFC. You'll be the 1 seed in the NFC just because you showed up to 17 games. But I do think the Chiefs and the Bengals are both better. It's just a question of what order do I think they're better.
Right. At number 2,
the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals.
You can't be the king till you knock off the king.
Yeah. I mean, you look at these. You look at the difference between Chicago. Chicago
does not belong in this.
What I did was I took the C and the HI in Philadelphia, and I went. Anyway, Cincinnati and Philadelphia. You look at the difference between those two, and it comes down to weapons for me.
To me, they're very much the same team.
Mm-hmm.
I like Joe Burrow just a fraction better than Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm. Joe Burrow, and you add in the third wide receiver.
I'm going to – and I said this about Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert is going to be the MVP of this league this year. This is the year Joe Burrow gets the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl and wins it.
Wow. So why are they not 1?
Because I can't have you there yet. You come at the king, you best not miss. Now, the good thing is you're going to get at least 1 shot at the king.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm in no rush to bump you up.
All right, number 1.
The Kansas City Chiefs. You're reigning, defending Super Bowl champions. And it's Pat Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think the Bengals have a better 2-53 roster than Kansas City? Sure do. Do I think the Philadelphia Eagles have a better 2-53 roster than the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. They have Pat Mahomes. You don't. He's and everything that all of you have, it's all hunky-dunky.
Mm-hmm.
He is different.
Yep. And he's got a whole...
And until one of you beat him, yeah, I'm going to keep saying that.
He's got a whole bunch of weapons to use. None of them are great. None of them are stars.
God, they're all fast.
That's exactly right.
I swear to you, that Kansas City has the best track team I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
There are a handful of you that I'm not sure could catch a cold in a freezer if you're covered in water, but if you do catch it, you're going to be real hard to catch.
And that defense is young and hungry, and Steve Spagnuolo had them playing at the end of the year, just lights out last year. I mean, remember how good those 3 rookie corners were in the playoffs?
You have the best quarterback in the league. You have the best coach in the league. And I could argue you have the best GM in the league in Veach. Come at the king, you best not miss.
Yep.
All the rest of you are looking up at the Kansas City Chiefs.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We will rejoin you tomorrow at 3 right here on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and, of course, everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and always live in the Ingles Studio on YouTube.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
couple of sprinkles possible coming in from the northwest. Some lower humidity comes in tomorrow. We're in the mid-50s for tonight. Little cold front sinks through Wednesday with some sunshine, slightly cooler, 76 tomorrow. Low 50s tomorrow night in the valley, 40s with elevation. And 70s and 80s return Thursday, Friday. And the chance for rain is back coming up this weekend here in Asheville. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays between the French Broad River and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split, Malfunction Junction area, and Smoky Park Highway. An accident reported on Pisgah Highway near Curtis Creek Road in the vicinity of Pisgah Elementary School. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, southbound, stop and go between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Right now during Staples Free Tech Takeback, Rewards members get $10 back in Staples Rewards when they recycle their tech. Ends June 3rd. Limit 1 reward per month. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details. Cut the cord on your old tech and recycle it at Staples.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices,